She walks in loud like a thunderstorm, debunking myths with style and form. True crime, conspiracies her game. Melissa Jade, remember her name. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa Jade, she's got no shame. Microphone fierce like a roaring lion, unveiling secrets people been hiding. True crime queen of the digital scene, Melissa's got you hooked on her screen. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa J, she's got no shame. Murders to cover-ups, nothing misses. Melissa's here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa J, she's got no shame. Melissa J, she's got no shame. Melissa J, she's got no shame. From murders to cover-ups, nothing misses. Melissa's here to share her guesses. She's got theories big and bold, no stone unturned, no case cold. She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa J, she's got no shame. 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 She's loud, feisty, spilling tea, diving deep into mystery, breaking down your wildest claims. Melissa J, she's got no shame.
Hello, everybody. I apologize that the audio became choppy. I will try to work on that. Well, I've been working on that, but I apologize. I also apologize because I have the hiccups. I tried waiting a couple of minutes before. There we go. I tried waiting a couple of minutes before I went live, but it still was happening, and I was hoping it would end by the time. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I was hoping it would end by the time it began, like after my intro, but here it is. So I double apologize. But right off the bat, thank you so much per Silverbug for becoming a member and MK for gifting 5 memberships. That is extremely generous and kind. Please make sure you thank MK if you were lucky enough to get gifted. Welcome, welcome. If you're watching from behind the members only chat and just a viewer, thank you so much for being here and your support. Please take a second. Oh my God, I am really sorry. Please take a second and hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. They kind of are, Kelly. You feeling how intense that is? It's like reaching into the depth of my soul. Oh God. It'll be gone in a second. I swear. So I'm so happy to be here. I've missed all of you guys. Thank you so much for another amazing Members Only Monday. I love Members Only Monday. I look forward every day of the, every day. I don't know how to word that, but I look forward every Monday to be able to come on with a smaller group of you guys and to be able to hang out. And I appreciate all of you guys who, whether you're gifted a membership or you buy the membership, it means so much and it's a great way to support. And I really just appreciate you guys. So I hope you guys know that. When I hiccup, I also sneeze. Damn it, dude. I know a hack. It started the moment I sat down. So my hack has never failed. You take a glass of water and you take a napkin or a paper towel. It has to be sturdy enough to where it's not going to rip. And you place that napkin or paper towel over the glass of water, and then you drink through it as if it's a filter. And it has never failed me, but I just sat down. And so I don't have it readily available. Hey, Little Red. Hey, Little Red, I don't know if you got my email, but because I haven't checked since yesterday. But can you forward over the Patreon gift link, which I apologize because when we had Patreon on Thursday night, I got all confused with the links. And didn't realize whose was whose, but everyone should have a link by now. But I realized I didn't have your gifted link, Little Red. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you so much. It's very kind. Welcome, welcome, all of our new members. Please thank Maddie if you got gifted. You guys are the best. Hey, Steph. Hey, Katrina. It works, JC, every time. Very generous. Thank you so much. Good it. You try it, Midnightlies. I hope your birthday. Hey, Mirabelle. Yeah, try it. Definitely. Thank you so much, Maddie. Okay. Hi, Natasha. Your favorite show. Oh, you're so sweet, Happy. You guys are all sweet. Hi, Indigo. Hi, Tess. All right. So, see, when it's something like that, Kelly, I feel like, hi, Pinche. I feel like it's so much more about the concentration of it and the fact that maybe you're getting your mind off of it. I don't know. Hi, Ella. Hi, Justin. Hi, Nina. Sherry GB. Okay, so our missing child was requested from a subscriber. Yeah, mine never fails me. I saw Allie say, "Oh, drink water upside down." I've done that like once, but I don't need to go upside down. Mine works. Like I'll spill water all over my face if I try to drink upside down. All right, so here we go. Thank you, Little Red. New to the chat, just the second one I made. Well, welcome, Jenny Dickman. Thank you so much. We're happy to have you here. Welcome to your first Members Only Monday. We do it every single Monday. And so we're happy to have you part of the community. It's a pretty fabulous community if you ask me. All right, so here we have Genevieve Jenny Rodriguez was last seen when she stayed home from school sick around 8:20 a.m. Her phone shows her last location heading southbound along North Riverside Drive at 9 a.m. There are emails showing her phone was reset at 9 a.m. and has been off since. She was last seen wearing a black hoodie with a red rose on the back, baggy jeans, and blue and white Jordans. She has a scar on her right cheek and wears eyeglasses. So the location is Espanola, New Mexico. Last seen March 9th, 2025. She is 14, 5'3", 120 pounds. If you have any information, please contact the missing person hotline at 1-800-457-3463. We verify and post only official missing person cases. All missing posted are added to our database, the nation's largest interactive missing person database. So help guide us forward. And then here we have, and again, this is from Missing People in America, Genevieve Rodriguez. Everything I just read was right on that. But here is a zoomed up of her photo. She's a very beautiful young girl. And then you have the QR code, which I like that they do that. Like, so you could just kind of scan and get that information. Hey, ATS News. Hey, Bogart. Hi, Sprinkled Donut. Me too, Natasha. Me too. Hey, Carolyn Coops. Granulated sugar is my hack for them. Oh, interesting. Oh, thank you, Jenny. What did MK say? By the frantic nerve. I thought it's because my lobes aren't stretched. Hey, Skadoosh. So, just so you guys know, so tomorrow and Wednesday we're doing back-to-back Idaho. There is, no, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Jump back a second. Tomorrow night and Wednesday night we're doing back-to-back Casey. We are starting Casey Anthony trial recap, opening statements here tomorrow, and then Wednesday night on Alex Erickson's. And so we also have a new Idaho drop. Okay, we had so many more documents uploaded just today, and so we have that. Allie also told me before you do your next Tisha live or one of your next Tisha lives, you need to go over her newest lawsuit. So with Tisha, I know we're going to be incorporating that too. And then we have our Wade stuff, which, by the way, since I last was on to do Wade, did you guys know it's been like 7 different articles that was that has been like published about him, which was really cool. I think probably the coolest one was TMZ sharing out. I forgot which one. I'd have to look, but TMZ even shared it out, and that was really cool. And I'm just so happy that the reality of him is being. I love that you're loving it, Carolyn Coops. She has, what you don't know about her so far is that she is a vectitious litigant. Like she's constantly filing, kind of like similar how Wade's like violating my this that amendment, but actually filing lawsuit. And it's very interesting. And you could go over on Allie's channel. Allie has already gone over it. Please do go over to her channel to go take a listen. But we'll definitely go over it moving forward in our Tisha stuff. Thank you, Natasha. It was cool. It was definitely cool. Hi, C. Carter. Hi, Lisa. And so, yeah, just wanted to share that because, yes, if you've been, I will, Allie. Hi, poor Linda. If you've been one of the people, I've been disconnected for the weekend, but if you've been one of the people who have left comments or sent emails, thank you so much. I've seen most of them. I just haven't had a chance to kind of like get back to everyone, but thank you for letting me know because it's been you guys who's pretty much letting me know when a new article is posted or where you see something. It's not like they told me. And so, TMZ shared one of the articles published about Wade's photos and stuff. And so it was really cool. That's New York Post, Daily Mail. And then since then, it's been like 4 or 5 more, including TMZ. So that's cool. Yeah. But the point is that they have a platform and they have the reach to be able to show people what's going on, how these wives are still like, because they've had previous articles and stuff, but the media keeps posting it as recent pics after the trial, but the pics they're using are old, aren't they? The articles that I've read, now to be fair, I haven't read every article ATS, but I read the New York Post and Daily Mail and the Tufu. They show going back to 2023. So it never said in the ones I read that they're recent versus everyone is fawning over, Wade Wilson in the trial. But these photos go back to 2023 and show, like the weight gain, missing a loss of teeth, the fluctuation of the hair. So it says the date. I don't know. I don't know, to be fair. Like, not the ones that I read. I sent you some in the chat. Some they're sharing are old and stating it as new pics. I'm like, no, they aren't. Dude, that is so annoying. Which ones did that, ATS? Oh, that's horrible, allegedly, Annie. Thank you, Jack. Dude, you're telling me that they didn't even bother to look? See, that's why I appreciate the article that TMZ shared out, because that article even quoted me from my pre-records, and it explained, they're like, Jade wrote how this is not meant to idolize the killer in what way, in any way whatsoever. And it's meant to bring attention to the situation and for educational purposes, and also for in loving memory and respect for Christine and Diane, the victims. And I appreciated that because that should be, I know, Seagard. And in my pre-records, because it seems like they're not going for my live streams, they're going for those 3 pre-records that I uploaded, just all of the photos in a batch. It specifically says at the beginning of the videos when those specific photos were taken. And it says in the description when those specific photos were taken. Like, you guys know, each batch, there's a timeline, like it's between these months and this months of this year. The same way we're going through, I think it's August 2023 to March 2024 right now, and then the next batch we have goes to the end of 2024. So I don't know. But thank you so much, Jack, for those gifted memberships. They're so appreciated. I didn't read the LA Bible one. But damn, man, you would think something like an article. Thank you, Allie. This is the article TM shared, the TUFU. And that's the article I like the most because, like I said, it made sure to include how it wasn't to idolize him. It wasn't, it was to try to just you guys know, we didn't even expect to get those, that was just so unexpected. But either way, it helps have us understand the reality of what Wade is doing, how he is living, the reality of what he looks like behind the scenes, to try to stop the idolization of him. I don't know. It is ATS. It is cool. Mom of Tuxedos, hello. Who, what, when, where? I'm waiting for someone to say, dude, well, you know what, ATS, it makes sense now too, because I've had a couple of people come over and leave comments, like maybe 2 people come over and leave comments and said, these are older. And now that makes sense to me because I literally wrote back, I'm like, the dates are at the beginning of the video and in the description. Like, it's anywhere from these, like this date range. And so if they came from LA Bible article, then that makes sense because they were told it was new. But God, man, that's so annoying. Thank you, Allie. Yeah, that's true, allegedly. ATS, we see it all over the tubes. And so I guess these media, which, by the way, I guess the New York Post did not jack Daily Mail. Someone told me, they have some type of overlap to where a lot of times when one posts something, the other will create one based off of that. Yeah, it is. It was cool. Thank you. These were what MJ was talking to. It was it. Stop it. Get it. Hey, Kathy, Joey, Emmy, Amy. Happy members only, hun. Hi, Andrea. Okay. Well, either way, we are moving on to a new photo drop on this stream. And what I'm going to do, since it seems like those pre-records are good for people, what I'll do is I'll go back to the part I stopped at and I'll just continue dropping pre-records with all of those photos in, just so everything is concise in one place and people don't have to watch very long live streams to get access to the photos if they want them. And so there's that. Thank you so much. I've been seeing you tagged. I don't know if you're going to listen to the replay, but I've been seeing you tagging me, and thank you so much for the videos and the kind words. I know that there was another channel too. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but thank you so much for anybody who's been supportive, and I've been seeing it. It's just been busy. Thank you, Girls Nana, for becoming a member. Hi, Elvin. What you listen to Thursday now on Patreon? I know. Oh, I forgot about that. I kind of blocked it out of my head. So anybody who doesn't know and isn't on Phone Calls from Prison's Patreon or hasn't listened to us react to it on mine, Gabby, remember on Thursday we listened to, I think there's a new phone call too. When we listened to a Gabby call, we listened to the Gabby sex call after. Thank you, MK. That means a lot. Hi, Nisha. Hi, Kimmy C. Thank you, Hallie. You don't have to do all that. She's like grabbing all the articles. Thank you. Oh, that's what it was, Tess. Okay, I knew that. I thought I saw a new phone call, but we went over to Patreon and we listened to a Gabby sex call. And when I say it has been the most It was probably the weirdest sex call I've heard so far. And that's saying a lot because we've listened to some weird shit. No pun intended, but we've listened to some weird stuff. And not only are you dealing with, hey, you have someone with a young child around them while they're engaging in very sexual conversations, which is disturbing enough. It was weirder in a way, Amy, because ATS, it was, she turned around. I'll send you the link, ATS. She turned around and he's like, oh, let me hear the sounds you'll make. Okay. Well, it is not a sound you ever would expect. Okay. It was so, oh man, how do I describe it without doing it? It was the most, I felt embarrassed for her. I felt embarrassed for her because it was the least sexiest thing you could ever imagine. Yeah, there was quacks. Hey, Remy, there was quacks. There were oinks. It literally sounded like Mrs. Pac-Man. Yeah, she sounded like a chicken. And then it was so bad that Wade even said, all right, that's enough. You could stop. You could stop. You could stop. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Wade even was like, I can't, Joe. I can't. It she didn't in hi Miss Wolfie, she didn't intend for it to be animal foreplay, but imagine like, oh, all sexy, like, and all right, well, like what, tell me what it'll sound like. Like that. Okay. And it was like, what the hell? And she didn't just do like one, she did probably 2 minutes straight of this uncomfortable, like, I don't, Shay, why'd you have to walk in at that moment? Okay. That's different. Remy says, I'm not doing it justice. Oh, hold on one second. Now I'm embarrassed for my own sounds. But let me just find this little timestamp for you, okay? Let me just show you this little itty bitty timestamp. Okay? Okay. Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a number. Yeah. Of course. Let me hear what it's gonna be like. Let me hear what it's gonna be like.
Okay. So, Allie, yes, we need to hear this. No. Okay, so that's, yeah. And her kid was audibly nearby. Okay. And this goes on for a couple of minutes. Okay. I know, Joe Mama. I know. Hi, PB&J. I apologize for anybody walking in. Again, make sure you go over to Phone Calls from Prison's Patreon to go hear her phone call drop of Gabby. We reacted to it over on my Patreon, but it was the most uncomfortable thing I ever heard. It may have been the weirdest call. Okay. That was the sound of, you can't recognize that, PB&J. That is what it's going to sound like when it should be recognizable. Have you ever gone down on someone and that's not the sound that comes from your mouth? Come on. And she was full on. And if I let it play, you would hear Wade eventually say, all right, you can stop. You can stop. You're good. You're good. Even he was like, nah. And he eats shit. Okay. Hey, TV Bentley. And he eats shit. So what does that tell you? When even Wade Wilson is like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Yeah. When you make Wade Wilson uncomfortable, you know, all right, too far. Okay. Yes, you do, Lisa. That's very kind and generous. So all you do is that link that they email you, you forward it to me so I can give it and forward it to whoever you'd like me to. Thank you so much, though. Yeah, he wasn't having it. Yeah, even the shit eater passed on an ATS. You don't know that sound? Psh, amateurs. Dude, it was I don't know how she kept the serious like a straight face at all. I really don't. But it's a wild world of Wade Wilson. Come on. All right. So let me see. We have a new phone call. And it's the Wade Wilson and Bonnie full jail call. Can anybody who listened to this, can you tell me, did we hear part of this already or not? Like, why does it say full? I'm assuming we may have heard part of it. Harley. It just sounds the same. Like that the call sounds the same. Yeah, it was bad. Talking about red, like, should we go over it or no? Like, if it's the same thing, we don't have to go over it. We can continue with our Alexis. We can continue with our Alexis interview if that's it. If that's the case, it's different, but it's the same time frame as others. Okay, all right. Let's see. So this was phone calls from prison. Shout out to phone calls from prison. And this says Wade Wilson and Bonnie full jail call trafficking charges. So you guys already know. Oh my God, hold on. Oh my goodness. Wolfie. Shay. Oh my God. Hold on. You guys. I just got. You know who just hit? Oh my God. I don't even want to say it right now. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hold on, but it's important. Okay. All right. So, all right, this is phone calls from prison, full jail call. Here we go. The date that we're starting this photo on, this photo is December 9th, 2023. So as you guys know, it fluctuates, it jumps around in the whole batch, anywhere from August 2023 to March 2024. And so here we go.
No. Alright, alright, baby, you ready? Send this full message, you know.
Can you give me 1 second?
I'll give you more than 1 second. Alright, baby.
Ow.
How come every time you go like this with your nose, you go, ow?
I don't do that every time. I don't say ow every time.
Well, I'm just saying, but what are you saying, ow?
That's like the first time I said ow when I sniffed.
Okay, but what are you saying ow about? What's wrong?
My bracelets keep touching me.
Why are you asking?
I just said that.
You said that last call. I didn't know they heard you again this time.
Yeah,
Why don't
they
you just
did.
take them off when you...
Because my arm, I missed some arm hair there.
Why don't you take them off when you sleep?
Fuck you.
Why don't you
God,
take them
it's
off
long. God, I'll show you my arms, asshole.
Well,
And
like
it's
you
blood,
said...
you can't even see
Allie,
it.
check chat.
I know that.
Yeah.
Like you said, nobody's touching your legs but Jen. So...
Yeah, I was kidding.
I know. I know. So you don't need to be saving them things. But you know what? What's that
I mean,
look
I
like?
do. It's like,
What's that look like?
like natural. It's
What's that look like?
or just, I don't know, it's something really hairy though.
Something really hairy though. Listen, Bonnie reminds me so much of Amy Lang from Tisha. Down to her voice, the way she speaks. No, that's not my cat. That's phone calls from prison. You know what she's saying. Get your fingers out your eyes, Wade. She reminds me so much of why, Kelly? Of Amy Lang. And if you know, you know.
Is it really? Is it hairy?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
It's okay. Ain't nobody going putting nothing down there. Ain't nobody putting shit down there.
It's actually to the point where it's like really uncomfortable and annoying, so like I'm gonna have to shave.
Sure, man, shave it. And yeah, ain't nobody putting nothing down there, baby.
I can't stand like honestly, this is like the longest I've ever like let it go.
Yeah.
Like really annoying and really super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've just like been letting like not caring though, but it's like to the point where like I don't care that no one's even down there. I need to just do it for myself because it's
That's real.
Yeah, this is.
I feel you, baby. Yeah, no.
This is Bonnie.
I don't even care that no one's down there. I just want to feel clean and like
It's not. Sorry, it's not Rochelle. Reached out. It's Bonnie. He does look just like an infection or. Oh, Kelly, I'm sorry. Did I make you feel? Yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't have reacted, but I opened an email like in real time and it got me like I had the reaction. I didn't mean to do that to you guys. I apologize. Her voice is recognizable. Yeah, that's Bonnie. You can't mistake that unless you're thinking it's Amy Lang. Okay.
like
Yeah.
I just want to feel
now,
clean.
to the point, it's like now it's like it's for you. Like it has to, like something has to happen. Like,
like it's like okay, bitch, enough is enough. You still got a while. You're not gonna go that long though. Do something about it.
She sounds 64.
Hell no.
I'm not trying to look like my mother.
Oh God, Wade. I know MK.
Guy over there.
No, thank you for the images in my head, but hey, so anyway.
That's a nice.
Right?
That's a nice shot of not only his swastika, but his ear. Wolfie, can you do me a favor? Bonnie usually makes shepherd's pie and tacos.
All right, let's send this kid a message, man. Let's get this shit done with this kid, man. Cool. You ready?
Yeah.
Alright, so just say,
I wrote down what you told me to say. It's in my notebook. I just don't remember.
oh, you didn't message him that last night on the other account? Oh.
Oh, wait,
Alright,
yeah. I think I did.
There's his
okay.
bald head.
Oh, it's okay. Just say,
Oh, look at it.
I just made...
You guys, look at his. Oh, it's amazing how drugs truly changes your face. Look at that. Oh my God. He looks absolutely awful. Wow. No, that's not a joint. That is a pen cap. If you guys remember the original photos that I got from the incident reports, if you guys remember, it included, remember the plunger and stuff on his little table, metal table, there was sitting, and I could pull it up for you guys. There was sitting pen caps, a cup of pen caps. I don't know how he got all of those pen caps, but he did. And he just is constantly chewing on them. Now, I don't know if they dual purpose as something or what. Hi, Chloe Jade. But he has one in his mouth so many different times.
The drill shell.
alright,
Oh, wait.
message him and say, press play, yes, question mark, or...
Yeah, I
No,
remember because I said something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to what we said before, yeah, but press play, question mark,
Yeah, or no, question mark.
yes or no, question mark, yeah. Just send that, and let's see what he says. It's good
I
because
said
he's probably
something
waking
else
up.
though last night too, right?
Yeah, you did. It was a little different, slightly different, but pretty much the same. But let's just see what he says, because he's probably waking up about now. It's about time that they wake
Look
up
at the
right now, so
tiny
it's probably good timing.
ears.
We'll get him back. By the time when you wake up later and shit, I'm sure we should have something back from him, which would be perfect. So what I'm going to do, baby, sweetheart, what I'm going to take the time to do on my own is now, once we get this done today, I'll go ahead and find somebody new. And then instead of red, okay, somebody that's easy. And then
After tonight, baby, I will find somebody new to go do these drug runs for me. Okay, after tonight, you won't have nothing more to worry about. Except after tonight, you're gonna be arrested. What a bummer. What bad timing, huh? Sorry. And then do you think he thinks at all about Bonnie? You wasted your whole life, and for what?
listen, what we'll do is when I find my new person, you'll just, one time, you can just show them the area, like, because you already know. And then after that, one time of you showing them the area, I'll make sure that they do it on their own every time, okay? Where they, hopefully I can get somebody that has a car and stuff, and they'll be able to just do all their own shit, okay? The only thing they'll do for me is meet up with you wherever you're at, like, you know, and pick up what I need from you.
Grab my stuff.
Yeah, and then and then I'll have them drive. I'll have them do it after you show them the area. You know, after that, one time they'll be able to accomplish it on their own. So I'll make it really easy, okay? I'll find somebody. We'll make it easy, and I'll make it where it's not a hassle for you, and you won't feel like, okay, we're always talking about this and stuff, okay? I'm going to figure it out, I promise. All right, baby?
It's not
I
even
will.
necessarily that it's a hassle.
Oh, come on.
I don't. It's
Oh,
not a.
don't feel bad.
I mean, sometimes sometimes yes, it's a little bit of a hassle when I have
When
stuff
you
going
tell
on,
me
but
it's
it's
the only
not
thing
like
that our
a
relationship
hassle.
is based on, what am I supposed to feel like? I don't want you
It's
feeling
just
like
because
that.
I feel like it's all we talk about.
It is all you talk about because he's a drug addict, hon. He's a drug addict, hon. You think you are, he literally got your information through other inmates at Lee County. This information includes, yo, this girl is willing to smuggle in drugs. That's on you, hun. Like, that's on you. What else do you think your relationship would be about? Honestly, to this day, she is sitting in jail. Was it worth it? I can't imagine it.
Like, I know it's not all we talk about. I know it's not, but it just feels like it consumes a lot of our time, and I don't like that.
All right, did you message him? Let's get this done with. Let's
Yes,
be done talking about this. All right, we're done talking about it. All right, so anyways, and baby, why don't you take those bracelets off like when you sleep, girl, so they're not tugging on you?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know. They're for like protection and stuff, so I just wear them all the time.
Protection? No, I thought one is for protection. The other one's like love. And
No.
whatever else.
Welcome, Slicks96. Thank you so much for becoming a member. This is still the third batch of photos, as we are not on the fourth batch. We're not on the fourth batch. And thank you, Anton, brother, and thank you so much for the support. Oh, I hope you feel better, Venomous Vixie. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much.
For protection, but the other two, they're for protection, but they're for protection against different things.
Okay. That's real. Yeah.
Like the pink one, it's like for protection against like,
thank you, Slicks.
Your love and your passion and all of that.
Yeah, how good is your word with me? How good is your word with me? Your word. How good is it?
Solid get. Why?
Solid. You goddamn right it is. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, girl. All right, I'm just saying. Do you remember the question I asked you that night at Walmart? Do you remember? Really? Oh man. I said, because we were talking about some shit, and I said, what you said was?
Thanks, Chloe Jade. That, oh my god.
I was like, we were talking about the papers and stuff. I was like, you give me your word, you're going to bring them up here soon. And you were like, yes, baby, I give you my word.
Oh, yeah.
That, baby.
I remember that.
That's what I'm talking. That's the most important thing in the world. Fuck.
Well, you asked me a lot of questions, so I didn't know which question you were referring to.
All right. Oh, shit.
At least I remember you asking me that.
Girl, I'm surprised you remember your name. No offense, but like you could tell you are zooted. You are. Thanks, Chloe Jade. Love this community, MJ. I do too. More than you guys know. Thank you so much. I hope she gets clean in jail too. Of course I do. I wish that for everyone. And congratulations to anybody in sobriety and recovery. And you guys would know firsthand, anybody who has experienced it and gone through it, you would know what she did, the choices she made, like all for what? But what I don't understand is that Wade wasn't the only one she's done that for. She was known already. And it's like, well, what were you expecting? What the hell were you expecting?
Send me some pictures, girl.
Yeah, I'm working on sending you another one. But who the fuck is this that do a picture?
No. That wasn't a question. That was more of like, let's talk about it. It wasn't really me asking you questions. No. Okay. It wasn't like that. I wasn't like, is it you? No, it wasn't that. It was like, baby, you send me some pictures? That type of thing. So, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do what you said, because I still haven't made that collage, because I can't figure out how to do it.
Oh, my God. All right, listen. Picture this.
I haven't found out. I know how to do it. I know what you're saying, how to do it, but I haven't found an app that I can do it on. Like I can't. I figure out how to get that picture on that picture and that picture.
I don't feel
picture.
sorry for
You
her.
can screenshot, you can minimize the picture and drag it over. Post it there.
Yeah, but how do I get it onto that picture? I can't do it on my phone. I have to have an app, and I haven't found an app that'll do it.
It's gonna ask you when you're doing the collage, you pull other pictures into that and add to the collage.
Who does?
You do that same thing, and then you just make that picture small.
Yeah, Wolfie, I'm doing my best
That's
multitasking.
not how the app works. The app has a template, so I have to pick a template. So I can pick a template with 2 pictures, 3 pictures, all the way up to 9 pictures. These templates hold.
Oh,
so
yeah, I get what you're saying.
They're separate.
Yeah, well, there's got to be a way, because there's a way where you use the template, add the pictures, but then you can add smaller pictures everywhere else. There has to be a way to do that, because there is.
On top of the picture that's already there. I don't have one for that.
I don't feel sorry for her. Here's the main reason I don't feel fucking sorry for her. One, we're accountable. Addicts or not. What the first thing they freaking teach us, okay? In recovery, you gotta be accountable, man. You are accountable. No more sitting here with the excuses. Making excuses and enabling does not help anyone, okay? So nobody forced her to engage in this. Nobody forced her to bring walkie-talkies and tuck, duck, and roll underneath the arm of the Lee County Jail and smuggle in drugs, which led to overdoses. Okay? Nobody did that. That's on her. Okay? We're all accountable, because when we continue to live in a society where we're constantly making excuses, who the hell does that help? Yes, you aren't always in the right state of mind when you're under the influence. No crap. But would you watch someone who got into a DUI and injured people on the road after crashing? Would you say, poor you? You struggle with addiction, though. No. All right, then don't make that same excuse regarding drugs. Sorry, no. And I say that as someone who struggled in my past. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't. No. So she made those choices. She did what but I wish her the best in saying that. I wish her sobriety in saying that. It is sad that she lost her husband, but here's the thing. When she lost her husband to an overdose, why the fuck? And I'm sorry, let me calm down here. Why the Elmer Fudd would you then bring more drugs in, which led to more overdoses? Are you out of your mind? Exactly, Natasha. I hope she turns her life around, but I don't feel sorry for her choices. I don't feel sorry for my own either. I took accountability, and that's why I'll never go back to that life. Exactly. So I'm not gonna. I feel horrible for her loss, and of course, everything contributes. I'm not gonna say it doesn't all contribute. It does, and she probably was not in a good mental place, and she probably was making really bad, poor choices for trauma she's gone through, self-sabotaging. We do a lot, self-medicating. Absolutely. All of that can be true. And she is still fully accountable. You know what I mean? And the only way that you learn is being held accountable. And so you could feel sympathetic, but at the end of the day, you did the crime, you do the time. Simple as that. Because if we started going through this chat right here and going through the trauma every single one of you, I guarantee, have experienced, at what point do you draw the line of you're not accountable for your actions because you've gone through something fucked up? I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. And she was dumb. You guys weren't even smart. You're on a damn recorded line. What the hell are you doing? You're just asking to be caught at that point.
I guess baby's not going to get the picture you wanted then. I don't know.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay.
I kind of have I haven't heard this app yet. I've downloaded like 12 photo apps.
I bet. I kind of do that too. I download a couple when I'm out there too, because it's like you gotta figure out which ones are with the fuck. What was I gonna say?
That's true, Cicely.
Photo editing apps. I'll be doing all types of shit, baby. You never know. I'll be taking all types of pictures when I'm out there. Hell yeah. Be doing all types of editing, taking pictures, and I'll be doing everything. Okay, well, but all my pictures when I get out there are gonna be of you and I, so.
When I get out there, because again, and if you're dumb enough to believe he's gonna get out there, it's on you. It's on you. Oh, hello, Edward Scissorhands, shitty Temu version. Hello there. New hair, who dis?
Is that still bad? Is that still on? Person? Is that still on? Because you're gonna be in there. Oh, god damn it.
We'll see.
Okay.
Maybe prove
Well, what do
he's doing like this and wrong.
Well, then what are you talking about? We'll see. I already know.
We'll see. That's all the pictures you take.
God damn it.
What?
Well, I was gonna tell you something, man. I forgot. Cause you talking about, let's see if that's all the pictures I'm gonna take. Yeah, that's gonna be all the pictures I'm gonna take. What are you talking about?
What did you used to do with it? Never mind, I don't want to know.
Do you want to know, Bonnie? Oh God.
Damn it, dude.
Oh God.
Oh. Now I remember. I didn't used to take no fucking shit like that, baby.
Oh, he doesn't
I
look
just take
good.
normal pictures. But sometimes I add like sometimes you can add like different things to it just to make the picture look cool. Like different lights or whatever, you know.
He looks bad,
like
guys.
Or whatever, just to make the picture look dope or whatever, you know, shit like that. That's all. But what was I gonna say later, baby? When I call you and wake you up, or whatever time you wake up later, when I call you and shit, would you like for me to remind you so we can call GTL so we can have our visit for next week? You still good for that?
Not that you need to remind me, but I would like to call them.
You said I need to remind you, or I don't need to remind you?
Not like you need to remind me later, but I would like to call them.
Okay. Well, I'll just say something to you about it later, I guess. So we can, because it's already Wednesday. You know, the week's gonna go by fast, and I'm gonna be like, by next week, our boy already got it set up, and I'm gonna be like, baby, where are you? Like, I want to see my baby. It's been a month.
God, his skin looks bad.
Just so I can see that butt. It's been 30 days. Which was well worth it, for sure. 3 seconds that I had.
Was it? Because I don't think it was.
You have 1 minute remaining.
But you really look so good. It's hard for me to say that it wasn't. But it really sucked not seeing
You
you.
didn't even see anything.
I saw your butt.
For like a second.
That shit
And
was
you got
nice,
to see it
though.
in the pictures. So like what?
Man, but it sure was nice watching you take that dress off.
What dress?
Sure.
Yeah.
Did they forget the 1 minute warning?
Yeah, it did.
Dude, did she not? I'm sorry. Hi, Ashley. 54 minutes. She didn't even hear the 1 minute warning. That's how like half conscious she is, which is really sad.
I love you.
Okay.
You want to bed?
Yeah.
All right, sweetie. I love you too. Try to send me my pictures, I guess.
I'm trying.
All right, love you.
Love you.
I'll call you after lunch, bro.
Love you. Love you.
I love you so much.
Oh my
I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more. I love you more.
I love you more, chicken fucker.
No, I love you more, Miss Wilson.
No, you don't. I love you more.
I love you, Bonnie Wilson.
Thank you for using GTL. Don't forget.
Okay. All right. That's weird. All right. So hold on. Thank you, Angela, for my counting. Thank you so much, hon. I am going to Alexis. No, that's the wrong one. I'm going to get up the rest of the Alexis video. Here it is. Okay. Well, wait, hold on. Oh, it's so frustrating to find it. Hold on. Okay, here, wait. Okay, all right, here it is. All right, so we started the
he didn't want.
We started the Alexis interview on from Corals last time, so we're just going to continue listening to that. You can, and I'm not going to tell you how to feel, obviously. You could absolutely feel bad that she was mourning her husband 100%. Here's the thing. Two things can exist in the universe at the same time, right? You can sympathize, empathize with her perhaps about the loss of her husband. That is absolutely horrible. And I am sorry for that. I don't feel bad for her actions and correlate it to that. You know what I mean? Those are just really poor choices. So I also don't sympathize when I find out he passed from an overdose and you brought in drugs numerous times, which we know for a fact led to an overdose, at least one. So I could feel bad for her loss, but I don't feel bad to where her actions are less than. You know what I mean? Right. Exactly why I don't feel bad for her. He died from the same thing she was caught doing for Wade. So I see it differently and led to an overdose. You know what I mean? So it's really, again, I circle back around to, if you look in every individual person here in this live stream, all 458 of you guys right now, I'm sure everyone has gone through their fair deal of trauma. Shit. I believe that. You can't commit crimes and do things like this and be like, oh, okay, but I went through some shit. Nah, like, I'm sorry for what you've gone through, but that has nothing to do with what your choices were. Wait, members only Monday, and I have a text bubble. Thank you to whoever gifted me. Congrats, Maggie's Nana. I'm not sure who got you specifically, but we're so happy to have you here.
11 the 12th?
Yes.
Okay. And when you went in there,
he did not say, he didn't want me to not go. He wanted me to go.
He wanted you to go.
Yeah, he didn't want me to go to the last day of that on the 12th. He said that he was going to be found guilty and I didn't need to see or be a part of that. And I was like, no, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna just,
Absolutely, Penelope. And that's what I love most, is to be able to have conversations, see different perspectives, and not get upset with each other versus like have those productive conversations where we may not always initially see eye to eye, but we could see each other's points along the way. I appreciate that. Definitely, Little Red.
I'm going. Like, I'm gonna go. And yeah.
So you have his ID. You didn't end up going through it. You didn't get married, thank God. But what did you do with the ID?
That's where we last left off. For anybody who wasn't here at the end of our last stream, we're listening to Alexis Poops and Scoops on Corals. This is an older live. And she had said that she had a friend who looked somewhat like Wade, and Wade wanted to have him take his ID that his dad mailed to her and go to, I forgot what state, and get legally married, which you're not allowed to do that, obviously, because that's not actually Wade. That is a friend impersonating Wade. But she said she had like a gut feeling that I shouldn't do this, so she never ended up doing it. But she was close to doing it. Alabama, thank you, C. Carter. So that's the context of what they're talking about.
And yeah.
So you have his ID. You didn't end up going through it. You didn't get married, thank God. But what did you do with the ID?
Well, so when we were seeing each other earlier in the year, there was one court date where he had said, you don't need to go to court. I'm not even going to go. I'm tired. I have to go all the way downtown. And I'm like, you asked me to go to every one of your court dates. You specifically tell me what to wear for every court date. And you get any chance you can see me in person, you do. So something was like,
Yeah, the was he already was engaged to Jesse, and he didn't want that overlap there, plus 444 other women. And so, yeah, you were out, Poops and Scoops, and he was taking the tuxedos and whatever it was that you had for him to wear with him.
So I didn't listen, and I showed up.
I'm sorry, Kristen.
And out of all the other court dates that I've been to, the only time that there was ever anybody else that I didn't know was the day where he was on a docket with other people, and they were calling through cases. And I had seen somebody that I knew, Breezy. She was there, and I didn't know if she was necessarily there for him or if she was there just because there was other people on the docket. But when his name got called, she had sat up and she was, paying attention. So I was like, okay, so maybe this is why he didn't want me to show up. And then I had talked to her, and she's like, oh, what are you doing here? Because I know who she was. We were not like best friends or anything, but we were friends. I lived in Suncoast where she lived, and that's when I got to know her. She's a beautiful person, beautiful soul. She was very nice. That's why this really wasn't a conflict, because she didn't know about me. I did not know about her. So it was kind of just like, I didn't really want any part. I was done. I was over it. So I just went home.
So after that, though, you stated that was when you stopped talking to her. You're kind of a little mad because you were questioning what he was doing.
It was a little under 2 months that they were back in the swing of their thing. And then he started calling me again. And then that's when she had told me, girl, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were with him. And I was like, oh, well, she wanted her hair braided and some stuff done. And we were literally, talking about that. And then she had asked me if I had his.
Did she just say she wanted her hair braided? So you Wade wives are sitting there braiding one another's hair as you're all engaged? Okay, sure, for sure.
ID. And I stated yes. And she came in, that's the last place I seen. I gave it to her.
Okay. So, and
filled out.
So after that, so you already knew that something was funny. Did you confront Wade with why this girl was there, or
he avoided me? He did not answer me. He didn't message me. I disconnected with him, and then I think it was whenever they stopped really talking and she had washed her hands with him, he had contacted me. He had reached out to me on my cell phone. He sent me the connection request to my number and my jail mails to the email. So I went into the email and did it that way. So
okay. So after I want to go back to one key part about the trial portion of it. He had some pretty nice suits, and we got to clear up some issues with the suits. I know that you did a purchase of at least one suit and some ties for him. I don't know. You could kind of elaborate. And I'm also going to bring Mel in for this conversation as well.
Now, Mel is his, I guess technically stepmom, right? His bio dad's wife. Now, I'm not going to be focusing too much on what she's saying. I don't know. I've never heard this before, but I don't like to, even if it may upset me, I don't like to touch too much on the family stuff.
Welcome back. So, when it came down to the suits now, how did that transpire? Were you contacted by someone to get him suits? Did he tell you have to get the suits? Like, how did that go down?
Talking to me?
Yep.
Sorry, I thought you were like,
she didn't get the suits. You got the suits.
well, I know, but I'm just saying because I don't know. Okay, yeah. So he had asked me, well, he had told me that the judge was going to give him permission to wear a suit. And then I was like, okay, so do you have any? And he was like, well, Todd can bring me, one.
Todd, aka Jesse, because she impersonated Todd, didn't she? She for sure did.
But I don't think it's gonna fit me, is what he was saying. And he was like, it's gonna be, like 2 weeks long. I need another one. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, like I can get you one. It's not a problem. Like, how much are they? So I went shopping around. He already had the blue jacket with the yellow tie and the khaki pants, along with some other shirts that he did not wear. Everything that he wore for jury selection, he didn't wear. And
you did, Gidget? Email it to me, please.
4 shirts. The blue one, the pink one that he wore was like baby pink. It almost looked white. White and a black shirt. And then I bought him all the black shoes and every color tie he wore from that point, including with the gray suit. The gray suit was not from me. I did not purchase that one.
There was a real Todd, Julia.
That was a big thing, is who got the suits. Because I know when I first interviewed Steve, he had mentioned that somebody from like Goodwill or somebody donated that. Can you clear that part up?
So we were told by Candy, which I'm sure, she got her information from Wade, but that there was a gentleman in the area down south. I believe his name was Todd. I think Allie can confirm that he thought, that Wade was innocent and wanted to help him and had donated clothes. I don't know if they all came from Goodwill or not. I just know that, Todd had donated clothes. So that's what Steve, that's the belief we were under. And I will say, when we saw him in court, we were like, those are some good donations, But we didn't know any different. We didn't know Allie at the time. We hadn't spoken to Wade or her. So, Steve was just going on the information that he had. So I'm glad we cleared that up, though, because people have blown the whole suit thing like it's the glove that fits or not.
Well, that's probably what Steve knew from what Wade had told him, because Wade told me that Todd was the one that was getting him, not only the one for the jury selection, but Todd was getting the gray suit as well, but it wasn't.
Yeah, Steve hadn't talked to Wade, but we had talked to Candy. And so I think that's where, the disconnect is Candy was just going off the information she knew, and, that's it. So
yeah.
No conspiracy about the suits, people.
So on those suits, Allie, because we saw that them suits they fit him pretty nice. So you definitely got a good selection, and what you picked out, I will say, you dressed him very snazzy. But he did have special requests, right? When you were going over it of what he was looking for.
Gator shoes, Gucci shirts. Like, he wanted one of the suits to be like fly, is what he said. He wanted
fly.
Like very
going into trial for what you guys are pushing is no, that's not Kias, Kristen, that's Alexis. What you guys are pushing as an innocent man, right? He's innocent, sentenced to death for murders he has not committed, and he wants to make sure he looks fly, right? Because that's where your mentality would be.
Just good. And then he kept going on about like a maroon suit and just a whole bunch. It went from yeah, oh, I appreciate you getting me just the one, the suit and shirts. Like, and I even told him, I'm like, listen, I'm not buying you multiple suits, but I will get you different color shirts and different ties so they can't say anything, they can't say, oh, you wore the same suit, which probably would have looked better anyway. But all these new suits, they're going to ask questions on how they got them. I don't know. He didn't think that one through.
He didn't think
so you got
anything
all the
through.
suits and well, not all the suits. You got him at least the suit, and you got him a couple shirts, and you got him the ties, you got him the shoes that everybody saw on there. Now, did he say anything about that afterwards? Like, did he like your selections, or was he?
Oh no, he said he did. But he still wanted way more. He wanted flashy. Wade wanted to be at the court date, and I just
no care for the victims whatsoever, but very interested on having some gator boots with the pimped out Gucci suits, I don't know.
What do you think I am? A Gucci? I'm like, come on.
Well, again, being a single parent too, that you're doing all these things and finances aren't all there, but you're still going out of your way to help make sure he has a suit to make him look decent for court.
Well, yeah, because I thought that he was innocent, and I felt like that was going to be important.
That's
for him
your
to show
fault.
That he was.
Dude.
I don't know. I was brainwashed. It's on camera.
Were you though? Because I feel like you went in. I'm sorry. I don't have too much grace to give, Alexis. Because how are you brainwashed? You reached out to him knowing what he was charged with, and you allowed yourself to be manipulated. There's a big difference between that choice. You chose to be manipulated. You weren't brainwashed, and I don't like that, because you're minimizing the people who actually have experienced a level of brainwashing, and it would not be you know what I mean? Like, they're not willing participants in it. You were a willing participant, and you chose to lie to yourself, and you chose to go into that and believe what you wanted to believe because you were physically attracted to him. Just at least be honest about it.
Okay, so going back, so we brought all the suits and everything, and I just wanted to clear, because a lot of people have a lot of misconception there, but you never physically had contact with Wade while incarcerated or anything, right? You never got to see him.
I walked into courtroom with the suits, and I handed them to the bailiff, and the bailiff took them into the machine, put them through, and then he gets dressed. They did hand me the box of clothes after, but
Thank you, Turtle Dove, for 3 months. Only child I've been a member on. Love these people. We love you. Thank you so much for the support.
I did not have any contact with Wade. From where I sat to where he was the distance between us, because when he does come out, he has minimum 5 guards at all times with him, and it's always been like that. So
yeah, he's.
Oh my gosh! Contact with you or anything during the trial? Like, did he make it well known?
He did a few times. There's probably not any of them on camera. When my friend Casey was there, he did. I did mention to him a few times during. I'm like, why didn't you even look back? Just to see what he would say. And he had a few times, but not a lot. He didn't want to put a target on my head, I guess you could say, because it was already bad enough. I was sitting right behind the lawyer. So I honestly didn't think I was on camera. I thought I was behind the Hollander.
Now, we heard all the time that you guys were like, hey, reach out to my lawyer. We've heard that a lot of these phone calls from prison where Wade's telling these women to reach out. Did you also reach out to
I have that. I have all of his lawyers and his previous lawyers in my phone.
Okay, they all do.
Email. So I have text messages, and I would be very involved with them. That Lee would tell me everything for the next court date or what we were doing and motions, and they kept me updated very, very much so. Yes, I don't know how many of the other women they did that with, because like I said at the
all
time,
of them maybe
I was his fiance, so the paper.
Alexis, now I know you probably felt dumb when you said that. I guess not, because you said it pretty confidently, but to say but the difference was between me and all the other girls is I was his fiance. Okay, ma'am. You and how many others? Respectfully, do you have any idea how many fiancés he had? He has currently? Come on, girl. She was his fiance, so she's special.
had to be signed for them to be able to talk to me about anything. He didn't do that with everybody because that's a lot of people to approve on a lawyer list.
I really want to talk to this guy because he must have been losing his damn mind, just judging by these calls. So going from there though, so you're
welcome, Carrie. It's lovely seeing you again, and thank you so much for becoming a member. Oh God, he is fucked
could
up.
you imagine just being a fly on the wall for the conversations that man's had to sit through? Like,
I honestly, I don't even know if there's really that many conversations he's had with him because every time, like Wade always was complaining, oh, he hasn't come see me, but yet when I spoke with the lawyers, be like, well, he didn't want to talk today, or he was just.
Oh my God!
Today was just what we couldn't get. He didn't give us anything we could use today. He's like, this is just another what did he say? Another psychobabble session is what he had said, because it was like just talking, and Wade was never actually getting to the point of how he could be defended. So it was a very big.
I mentioned that portion because it was a big thing that a lot of people are like, he didn't have good attorneys, but like you have to also get attorneys.
Listen, Lee Hollander is a very good attorney. Lee Hollander has a very good record for what he is, and if you actually listen to Lee talk, it's really hard to defend somebody who doesn't have anything.
11 months, but thanks for the shout out. Absolutely, one more and then a whole year. And meanwhile, he was messaging other girls calling her red. Yep.
Defend. So when these lawyers got up and when the state attorney's coming at, Wade or coming at everything and they're not having anything to back it up, it's because they didn't have anything. He never gave them anything. He had nothing to rebuttal with. Not one. He kept quiet the whole time, just like he did to his lawyers. Like his
Thank
lawyers
you,
had
Amanda,
nothing.
for 7 months.
Like
Happy Monday.
Other cases you see on Netflix and other things like that, where it was he was a good lawyer. He was older.
I was wondering what he was saying.
The law firm was big. Like we literally had a conversation where we were trying to get a lawyer from that law firm that Lee Hollander's at, and he ended up getting appointed Lee Hollander. So it was like, holy crap! Like we literally called to see how much a lawyer was going to be from this office, and Lee Hollander ended up being his next representation from the same.
Thank you, Harley, for 4 months. Love you.
The week prior, so it was crazy.
So you were calling around trying to find him lawyers or doing all these things behind the scenes.
I was just curious on what it would have looked like for the defense for it, because I was
Diana.
I had a court case going on myself for my son, so I was like, I pay a lawyer. I was just explaining maybe they had the same kind of program for criminal defense. They don't. It's not the same. So, and everybody wanted, I think it was $30,000 down just to touch it.
Which is definitely crazy.
How many attorneys did he fire prior to getting Lee Hollander?
I believe there was one. Then he fired and it got Jaffe. And then after Jaffe, who was just fed up with the whole thing, poor guy. Like at first I thought he was an asshole, but in reality, I totally understand why now, because he did the same thing to him. And then once they're not doing what he wants to do, even though he doesn't give them what they need to go further, he fires them. And that's the whole reason why the process took so long, is because when he has to get new representation, they have to have enough time to get up to speed for he planned it all out.
Exactly.
Jaffe wasn't
didn't one pass away too?
Yes.
Didn't one of his attorneys pass away too?
I think it was the first. I wasn't in contact with them at that point, so I'm not 110% sure. I believe it might have been the first one or second.
I don't know either, but I know it was one of them.
I think he's had 3, including Kevin. Technically, is his 4th.
Thank you, Lisa Loves Life. Welcome.
Malcolm was sorry, I don't want to make new names, but his lawyer for the new charges he got.
Right.
They all globalized, even though he had lawyers from the escape charge and the lawyers from the drug possession charges or the whatever he did bringing into the jail stuff. Malcolm was his lawyer for those, who I was in contact with because of that too. So not only was I as fiance to Lee Hollander, to David Jaffe, but I was also to Malcolm. Like I have all of their info. So they all shared with me whatever I needed to be shipped.
Yeah.
Okay, so during those times, and now you're going back into the court process. So you're going into this now. At this time, when court first started, the trial first started on like June 10th, and you went into that courtroom, were you going in there with like thoughts already that he like, hey, there's going to be some proven to me that he's innocent? Did you already think that, or were you already having suspicions about?
I had no
what's your
suspicion
feelings?
until I sat and heard the evidence. I literally went in there believing him wholeheartedly. Like I even had this kind of like, just this like not look or feel, just like kind of like this, you know, like I was gonna stand my ground type of attitude because I knew it was not gonna be
a little
great.
tent.
But I kept reminding myself, okay, what did he say? What did he say? But once I started hearing what the state attorney was saying in the opening, and at first I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like. First, I was just kind of like, ugh, and then I was like, oh my god, like the perspective that came in, and then you start hearing, you know, details, and
Going forward on that, I want to stop.
Oh,
so we can take
Harry,
some time
man!
to show,
Wow.
The prosecution resting for, and if anybody doesn't know, Sarah, she laid it out so beautifully, and I feel like a lot of people did not watch that mic drop at the very end, which explains so much information too. If you actually listen to it, you would see the context that she provided was beautifully laid out, that anybody could have done the math of what this man did.
This was premeditation all day long. The defendant's attitude toward these women was despicable.
This
He
is from
bragged
trial.
about their deaths to his dad after he killed them. No regret, no remorse. And he replaced the name Christine's mother, gave her at birth, with the name bitch. I killed a bitch. I choked that bitch out. And 3 days later, he's still bragging about it to law enforcement.
Thank you, Tiffany,
And
for
his biggest
13 months.
concern, whether he could get a hamburger and french fries. As
Yep.
Diane Ruiz laid in that field, being scavenged by animals with bugs eating her face to the point where she's unrecognizable,
Oh,
this guy over here wants some french fries.
yep.
And he's bragging about the fact that Diane Ruiz looks like spaghetti.
Preach.
This is a man with no respect for women, with no respect for human life. When asked about Mila and killing her, he says there were too many people around. I probably would kill her, you know. You know what I mean, given the chance. Now I want to start with premeditation because what you're going to see is you're going to see a jury instruction about lesser included offenses. And second degree murder is a lesser included offense of first degree premeditated murder.
She's playing a clip from trials. This is from trial.
And there's no doubt that if you read a second degree murder instruction, you're going to see that it involves
Oh my
ill
God.
will, hatred, spite. So there's not a premeditation element, but there's ill will, hatred, and spite. There's no question that he is full of ill will, hatred, and spite. But the law requires you to find for the highest charge. It says when considering the evidence, you should consider the possibility that although the evidence may not convince you that the defendant committed the main crime of which he is accused, there may be evidence that he committed other acts that would constitute a lesser included crime. Therefore, if you decide the main accusation has not been proved beyond a reasonable doubt, you will next need to decide
His
if the
eyes are
defendant is
so
guilty
messed
of
up.
any lesser included crime. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't even need to go to second degree murder. You don't even need to consider lesser included crimes in this case because the state has met its burden and proven.
Oh my God, look at his
premeditated murder.
eyes.
And I want to start with the defendant's own words about premeditation and how we know that he took a second to think about what he did before he did it. All right, the truth is, I picked the girl up and killed her. I wasn't worried about school, you know. Remember, this is during the day. School is in session, and in elementary school, little kids being dropped off by moms and dads and buses. I wasn't worried about school, you know. I choked her out until she couldn't breathe anymore. She wasn't fully dead yet. He's choking her. He could have stopped, but he decided to continue so that he could kill her. She wasn't fully dead yet, and she was still alive, and I pushed her out of the car, and she tried to get up. And I ran her over with the car. And I ran over maybe like 10 times, 20 times, her head, her body. He says, I put the window down and I said, hey, hey, do you know where the high school is? Where the school's at? Could you show me? She said, it's right down there. I said, I drove by there and I didn't see it. Could you please show me? She got in the car. That's all it took. That's all it took. Got her in my car. And then from there, we drove to the school and I was going to drop her off. But I knew in my mind, I wasn't going to drop her off. There's the mind. I knew in my mind I wasn't going to drop her off. But she wanted to get dropped off there. I said, okay, you can go. As soon as she went to get out, whatever, grabbed her by the neck and choked her. That's when I was choking her right there. I was choking her out right there. She came back to life 3 or 4 times.
Diana.
I mean, she was a fighter for sure. I'll give her that. When I pushed her out, she fell out still alive, trying to get up. I backed up and just ran and hit her, ran and hit her until she was not moving anymore. That's not premeditated murder, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what is. And after Christine Melton, when he picked up Diane Ruiz, he told the detectives, I was like, you know what? I've already done it once. I'm going to do it again. It came across my mind to murder, just kill, kill, kill. He talks about I could get sex with her and then I was going to kill her. This is going to sound weird. I'm just really horny. So I was looking for an easy piece of pussy and saw her walking and she was strolling or whatever early in the morning. So I was like, whatever, I'll give it a shot. When I give it a shot, it usually is 9 times out of 10 works for me. And it fucking did, you know. Fuck it, I should kill her. He says she did not need a ride afterwards, which is why I started choking her, because she was going to get out of the car. She said, drop me off here at school. I could tell she was getting scared. I saw the fear, and I think the fear triggered me to just kill her. It was going in a weird direction. I could tell things were off.
Thank you, Carrie. Okay.
Over, and she really wanted to get out of the car bad at this point, and I could tell she was getting. I can sense you here. I'm like a fucking lion, and you're the prey, and I can sense it.
Wow.
They can't get away from me even if they wanted to. I'm too strong. I mean, I don't look strong, maybe necessarily, but I can't believe it or not. I'm not going to be mean. I can take either one of you guys down, and this is what he's telling detectives. He locked up in the Lee County Jail, confessing and bragging to the detectives about these murders that he committed. Not only do you have his own words, all the evidence shows premeditation. Remember when he told his father about murdering Christine, he says, she's just sleeping there. They had sex. Remember, this is 6 a.m. Stephanie Johnson has already left. He sees her asleep after a night of going out, having a good time. And he says, I decided I was going to kill her. Got on top of her. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is classic premeditation. And there doesn't need to be a length of time. It can be just a short swapping in a mosquito. Defense also alluded that, there's drugs and alcohol and he's on these drugs. That's what he says. But nowhere in the packet of jury instructions are you going to hear or are you going to read when you take those jury instructions back with you that drugs or alcohol is a defense to murder or a defense to premeditation.
See? Like the drugs or alcohol, sorry, it's not an excuse for anything. I'm sorry, it really isn't. Not in my book. Not in my book.
Stephanie Johnson went out drinking the night of October 6th. She went to work the next day. Jason Shepard went out drinking that night and he did a line or two of cocaine and he went to work the next day. And Wade Wilson went out drinking. He did a line or two of cocaine and he killed 2, almost 3 women the next day. Using drugs or alcohol as an excuse for injury or death to anyone is insulting. And you'll find nowhere that the law allows that as an excuse.
Amen.
Think about how he was acting. He's at Mateo's Graphics. Why is he there? He's not just out of his mind talking nonsense. Now, our witness, Mr. Lukic, thought he was out of his mind because he's saying he killed 2 women. That seems pretty crazy. He doesn't think that that's probably true. He didn't, in fact, know it was true. But he's there to get out of town. He's there for a plane ticket or a bus ticket. This is someone who knows exactly what he did. He's not on some kind of drug where he doesn't know or he doesn't know what's happening or what's going on. He knows exactly what's going on. And he knows he needs to get the hell out of Dodge. And long after the high of any drugs or alcohol could have worn off, he's calling Daddy. Dad, I need you again. I need money. I need to get out of here. I need you to come pick me up. I need you to help me. And he's bragging to his dad, wanting his dad to be proud of the women he killed. And then 3 days later, when he's in custody and he's on no drugs and no alcohol, what does he do again? He's bragging to the detectives. All those quotes I just read you, those were all 3 days later when he has no access to any of that. Defense tries to say, he's crazy, he's out of his mind, and the defense, talked about mental health and that being an issue. Again, that's not a defense in this case. There's no evidence of any mental health disorder. There's no jury instruction that's going to excuse him. Any reference of it by the defendant in a statement is simply an excuse to try to justify what he did. He had no issues going out and having a good time at the Buddha that night. No issues picking up a beautiful young woman at the bar. No issues having sex multiple times. No issues getting exactly what he wanted. He wasn't hallucinating, wasn't hearing voices. He wasn't confused about where he was. He wasn't confused about anything that night. In his own words to law enforcement, he was a fucking lion and they were the prey. And he could sense it. He liked knowing that they were in fear. He liked knowing that they wanted to get away, and he was not about to let them.
And that's so true, because again, Wade preferred. That's why when we hear about Vivian and that disturbing call, okay, where she is basically bargaining with him on how he's going to take her life, when she is a willing participant, that's ultimately not what he's interested in. You think he wants a willing participant? It's the hunt. It's the hunt that is so exhilarating, So I'm sure Wade acted interested because I'm sure it piqued his interest on a level, because it's the closest he's ever gotten to being able to openly be honest with what he's into. But at the end of the day, that's not what he's interested in.
And he knew enough that night to give a different name. He was JR, or Junior. He wasn't Wade Wilson, the killer. And he knew after killing someone, he should get rid of the body. He knew that after killing someone, he needed to get out of town. And as he watched the officers search for him, he sat in the Amlin's house, drinking White Claw, eating food, using his dad to help him escape. As humans, there's a desire to make sense of it all, to watch the news and come to some understanding of why, to have answers to suffering, and to look for some explanation, to look for a motive to explain why people do what they do. But that's why the state doesn't have to prove a motive. If you had to sit and find a motive or an explanation or an excuse for Wade Wilson's behavior, you'd be in the jury room for years.
Yep.
Because there's no explanation, no justification, and no motivation that could ever explain the suffering and death inflicted on Christine Melton. The suffering he caused to her best friend, Stephanie Johnson. The suffering he caused to Christine's cousin, Samantha. Or the suffering he caused to all her family and friends. There's no explanation and no justification and no motivation that could ever explain the suffering caused to Diane Ruiz. The suffering he caused to her fiance, Scott, the suffering he caused to her son, Brandon, the suffering he caused to the rest of Diane Ruiz's family and friends. And there's no justification for the fear and the pain and the injuries he inflicted on Mila Montanez.
Mm-hmm.
And any explanation you may have given to law enforcement creates no justification. This defendant is guilty as charged.
Guilty as charged.
That you convict them of all of the crimes the state has alleged. Thank you. We're asking you to weigh the curtain rod that was used as part of the torture that has her blood on one end and Wade Wilson's DNA on the other. We're asking you to weigh how the defendant met
That's so
Christine
bad,
Melton,
guys.
how she looked when he met her, with how he left her. We're asking you to weigh the large number of bruises to her body. We're asking you to weigh her swollen eye. We're asking you to weigh the cuts around her mouth and her eye. We're asking you to weigh the bruising all over her torso, the bruising all over her arms. We're asking you to weigh the blunt force trauma. We're asking you to weigh the significant hemorrhaging on both sides of her neck. We're asking you to weigh the bruising of her lungs, the bruising of her liver, the bruising of the back of her bladder, the bruising to her colon, the significant force to her abdomen. We're asking you to weigh the injuries around her scalp and around her head. We're asking you to weigh the swelling of her brain. We're asking you to weigh his hands around her neck, not being able to breathe, taking that last breath, knowing it would be her last. We're asking you to weigh the cold, calculated, and premeditated way in which he murdered Christine Melton, to weigh how he picked her out from all the ladies at the bar that night, how he flirted and got her to her house, waiting until no one was around, waiting until she was asleep, his hands around her neck, not being able to breathe. We're asking you to weigh the heinous and atrocious and cruel way in which he killed Diane Ruiz. Diane Ruiz, who was simply walking to work. How he met her and how he left her. We're asking you to weigh her fractured nasal bone, the laceration under her left breast. We're asking you to weigh the hemorrhaging and the skin on the left and right sides of her body. We're asking you to weigh the bruising on her left forearm and the back of her left hand, the bruising on her right arm and the fracture of her finger. We're asking you to weigh the hemorrhaging to her neck, her broken highway bone, her fractured thyroid, her fractured ribs, fighting her until she was dead. We're asking you to weigh him running her over with a car. We're asking you to weigh the cold, calculated, and premeditated way in which he murdered Diane Ruiz, picking her up while she's walking down the street, sensing fear, not letting her go, getting her in to his car, saluting her. We're asking you to weigh the fact that he was on probation when he committed this crime, and to weigh the fact that he killed both of these women within hours of each other. We're asking you to weigh all of these things and any other facts you may have heard in this
It
trial
is heartbreaking. I'm like
that support each of
focusing
these
on it too.
to the very little mitigation in this case. This isn't about numbers. It's about weight. And what weighs more in this first-degree murder case? In these murders. In the murders of Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz. The aggravators are so much heavier. So much more than any mitigation presented by the defense. And so now is the time that we make that big ask. We ask that you make a hard decision. That you recommend the ultimate crime punishment for the ultimate crime committed by this defendant.
Evidence was presented. She laid it out beautifully. I wanted to bring that in there so people can see that lacking piece of evidence. I feel like a lot, but also bringing it back to that day when you're listening to all these things, there's a lot that was not disclosed to the public because obviously for obvious reasons, they're not going to play that on television. So you got to see key pictures and hear more evidence about what this man did to his victims, correct?
Yes. And the testimony of the witnesses that were there that night as well.
And so you got to hear all the intimate details. And how did you feel when you heard that? Like what, like at that point when he's telling you, hey, I'm innocent. He didn't say I'm innocent. This is a setup. I was set up.
I kept thinking that there was no evidence, right? So when the state started
How?
saying the amount of evidence that they had, I kind of got nervous. I got nauseated a little bit because I'm sitting there and I'm listening and they're showing photos and everything. And then at first it's like, it's just the photos. It's just what had happened. But when they get into the details of the autopsy, or when they get into details about things that happened like at the house, I started getting very like, it was weird because there was no evidence. I'm thinking no evidence means no evidence other than you got him saying that he had done this. So I'm sitting here with this playing in my head about a setup, and then they're running through this list of evidence and DNA. And DNA. But yeah. Yes, that was the main part. Was as soon as I heard that his DNA was like 99.899% not somebody else's blood, but was Wade Wilson's, I was like, okay, so if he was set up, there's no way that they would have thought to go as far as it's putting his DNA and her DNA in not only the knots of the clothing that she was tied up with, but on the end of a curtain, a rod, not rod. It was you know when you have blinds, the thing that you twist to turn the blinds? That's what it was.
It's the same thing that Sarah just put on that video where she pulled out that actual rod to talk about it.
She did.
And that's the part that we wanted people to hear because they didn't break that down for the rest of us that were watching the trial. I actually, when I first walked into the case, was curious myself, like, what's going on with the evidence? Okay, that kind of lines up because I listened to her and how the arresting was like, oh, God, I can only envision what happened with the rod. But now that they're showing,
because they never physically, or they never said, I don't put the word in, sodomized or sodomized. Sorry, they didn't say that. They was more of she had ruptures and bruising internally in spots that only would have been able to even be reached with this thing. Yeah, like throughout.
Yikes.
That.
So now there, your face is going flush. You're like, oh my God. Now panel over. While you're hearing these key pieces of information, did you look over at him? Like, what was his expression?
I watched him the entire time. I was watching him the entire time, and there wasn't much expression, which I knew that was going to happen. He's on a lot of lithium. It makes you very non-expressive, you know, but he chose to not express any emotions. That he also had said he didn't want to show any emotion, but he did not. At first, it confused me because when he would look over at the screen, he would look down, and then he would look over, and then he would look down as if like, at first as if he had never seen it before. So I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe he's not lying. And then I start to notice later on that when it was being talked about again, he was starting to not only look longer at the photos, but he was getting excited. Like he was getting excited in a way that he shouldn't have been getting excited.
He was getting excited. He was getting excited in a way that he shouldn't have been. The same way I've shown you guys how he has his he has the discovery photos hanging all over his cell. All over his cell. And I'm sorry, because I know I've been a little bit distracted. I've been seriously multitasking, but for a good reason. But I'm done now, so I'm fully engaged with you guys. And yeah, and she was excited to be his fiance. That's I'm sorry, I don't get it. Yeah, he was aroused. He literally, even in some of these photos, we've seen discovery photos on like the bottom bunk when he's in the dual bunks, hanging on the top, like he looks up at them while he's laying down. Ew. We have 11 more pages of this batch, and there's about 12 photos per page. It gives you an idea. So there's still over 100 photos to go for this batch. And then there's a fourth batch. Jesus. There's a fourth batch, and that is going to be the all 2024, because dead row, right? This goes from the end of 2023, early 2024. And thank you all so much for being here with me. I will gift out a Patreon membership. Well, actually, I'm sorry. No, we have 5. We have 5 Patreon memberships that was gifted. Thank you so much to Lisa. She says send it to whoever. And so we will absolutely be gifting those out. And thank you so much, Lisa. That's very kind and generous of you. But thank you also so much for being here. He isn't allowed these images. Oh, you mean discovery? He's entitled. He's entitled to have his discovery. Now, I don't know what the rules are as far as hanging them in the cell in such a way. But I don't know. Oh my God, his eyes. Oh my God, is that sweat? Wow, hold on. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, that's a lipple in full effect. Look, you literally, is that sweat? What is that? Oh, the lipple in full effect, guys. He looks unwell is an understatement.
And when they had taken a break, he had stood up, and it was clear as day, because it was not there before. And a lot of people were like, oh, well, maybe he was, because it was when he was talking. It wasn't when he was talking to Mila. It wasn't really when any witnesses.
He literally was getting off on hearing about the brutality of what was going on.
Stood up, and he had a heart on. I'm not exaggerating. He did. He was.
Yo, he had a hard on from looking at and I believe that, honestly. She's an established liar, Alexis, so it's not like I just believe her, but I do believe that from the other evidence we can see, I could make that educated guess that she is telling the truth about that.
He was getting off on hearing about the brutality of what was going on.
Stood up, and he had a heart on. I'm not exaggerating. He did. He was hard. Twice.
Oh my God! So now at this point, Mel, you had, because you were there.
I don't know if he was stupid or not, Mel, but the first time.
Not because she was even looking, but.
No, I'm just saying, not saying that that's what I looked at, but when that particular time, like he was getting, like he was even. It was more of it. You know, he has the nervous moves around that he's got when he was, you know, fidgeting. This was not that at all.
Yeah.
And it was adjusting himself.
Yeah, she was looking,
Yeah, the
to be
first
fair,
day of the
Tess.
trial, we weren't there.
Okay, so you weren't there for that one.
So we weren't there. The second day is the day that Steve testified, and I found out 5 minutes before he went on the stand that I had said to her, you know, please, if there's any way you don't need to use me, I would rather be in the courtroom with Steve so he has a familiar face to look at, because he was literally going to have a heart attack. So 5 minutes before is when I found out I wasn't going on the stand. So we walked in. And
Sorry, but how does he manage to have his lips like that for real to even snap such a photo? Dude, how does anyone just sit around looking like this, asking for a friend? Look at that lipple in full effect, okay? That lipple is lippling. But wow. Dude, it's... How does he have teeth, Penelope? To be fair, we really don't know. We know he must have like a flipper of some kind. Let's see if we could see. I really don't understand, because you could see that they are broken. This actually is the good one. This is actually the whole one. I don't know how in other photos these seem longer. I really don't effing know. If you could figure it out, you get a Patreon membership. Because I can't figure it out. I can't, but look at his little ears. Look at his little ears. Look at his little ears. Do you see how tiny they are? Little Shrek ears. Look at the little Ericus. Cheese. I hope he is suffering too, Abby. And unfortunately, he wasn't in Lee County. This was him in Lee County. But now we have Fafo Feo on the case, and she knows. And that's all I was thinking about when I was listening to the trial. He knows. She knows, and she's not letting this happen anymore. She knows. She knows. She knows. She knows. That herpy is the most loyal thing that he had in his life. It's not a herpy. It must be scar tissue. I don't know. But it ain't no joke.
There was no room. It was very crowded that second day. I don't know if it was the first day, but the second day was very crowded. So we actually sat right behind.
It was crowded.
We sat right behind like Christine and Diane's family on that side, because that was just the closest place that me and a family friend that went down there with us. That's where we just, kind of got in. So I hadn't.
Thank you, 2112, for the $10.37. Sarah Miller did a phenomenal job. Hell of an attorney. Thank God she was on the right side. Hashtag hi Tess. Thank you so much. I'm going to message you right now too, actually. And thank you so much for the support. You are the bomb. I appreciate it. And such a random number, which I always love. He has some sort of damage from utero. I think it's like a perfect storm. I think it's a perfect storm.
Been able to even see Allie at that point. I didn't know. I watched her like get out, get up and walk out that day, and I noticed she was sitting right behind Wade. But I didn't, we hadn't conversed. I didn't know who she was to Wade or anything like that at that point. Yeah, right before Steve went on the stand, they had I think the DNA expert. I think they had somebody else on the stand, and then the U.S. Marshal, stuff like that. And then Steve took the stand, and then they followed up with, I think, another law enforcement. I don't remember exactly. So
it was all
for me if it's not completely accurate, but
well, a lot of it too is even though even with like the Steve thing, a lot of it, like they covered Christine that day. They were finishing up, and then it dropped into Diane's stuff, and then the last day was finishing up, and then it was guilty. You know, so.
Right. Yeah. So I think they put Steve in a place where once they had started they had gone over Christine, they had started speaking.
Hold on. What? Okay, I thought he was holding something else. Oh. Oh, hello. What is that? Is that a coffee? Oh, because dead row. Oh, hold on. Where'd it go? Damn, where'd it go? I just totally lost it. Dude, this is why I can't. Oh, is it this way? Dude, where'd it go? Okay, right here. Now flip. Would it be up? Yeah. What? Here it is. Okay. This looks like I go out a bit. This looks very intentional. Yeah, I don't know if he's naked or his boxers are pulled down, but you could definitely see crevice. It looks like a fucking cold brew. Is that a fucking cold brew? It looks like that's what I thought originally when I was scrolling, I thought he was holding something brown, and which it is, but I didn't trust it with the half nakedness. Okay. Then I was like, wait a second, is that an iced coffee? Like, what are we looking at? That's so cool. Well, no, that's not so cool. Like, not the photo. I was reading a comment. Let me be clear. Let me be clear. Wait isn't so cool. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, which way did it go? I think it went this way. Okay. Yeah, here we are. Okay. All right. That scared me a little bit. Yeah, that's a little too close. Oh, another nose picker. How many times? Wait a second. How many times are we going to see this? How many times are we going to see this? Just curious.
About Diane, I think that's why they put Steve where they put him, because of what he had been told was to both victims, right? So I think it was I think they did an amazing job, Sarah and Andreas, of telling the whole story and wrapping it up, and how they executed the witnesses was extremely smart, in my opinion, because it told the story.
It went with it. Everything, how she called them up, literally went with whatever they were. It was perfect. Like it literally was. Like, and everybody thinks that he didn't have. It was a fast trial. Like, yeah, it was a little bit quick, but it's only
you guys.
He had nothing to be defended.
and unfortunately, yes, I agree with that. That it was a fast trial because it wasn't a complicated case, guys. Anyone who's going to say, "Oh, it was fast. It was such a fast trial." Yeah, because the evidence was right there. It was right there. No defense, nothing to argue. He admitted multiple times.
If you have nothing to defend and no witnesses and no evidence, you have nothing. Not even a
And you're
rebuttal.
not speaking. You're not even telling your
Welcome,
attorneys anything. Or how
Mallory.
does anybody help you?
Yeah, there was
Not
no
even.
defense,
And the only thing he
ASB.
had done the whole time was like go over and whisper and stuff, but like they didn't. There was obviously
Oh,
it wasn't
sleepy
anything that
Wade.
was going to help him because it wasn't said. You know, I
Except
do
for they
know
didn't
that
interject or say anything.
they had to come out and be like, you know, like you were using that night. It wasn't just alcohol because that was not mentioned at all. At all. So I am glad he did mention that because it did kind of look worse. And that's when Lee was like, I believe it was to her friend, to Christine's best friend. I'm horrible with names. I'm so horrible with names. But it was Christine's best friend when she was on there, and she was just explaining like what was going on and what they were doing. But they, you know, they did not really include what they were doing. You know, they weren't explaining on why he just went from normal to something. You know, like there's.
I noticed that too, but although when the prosecution rested, she did state towards the end that he had admitted to doing a couple of lines, and that's kind of like where she left it at. So, like, honestly, Wade's gonna know more than anybody else.
What's weird though is that whatever they were doing, I don't know, but what he did was not what the drug that he when he came out of that bathroom. Coral, his eyes were black. Like his face changed. Right here to here was different. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like he went in the bathroom and he came out and he was holding his face but his eyes were black. They went from like being like a golden brown and like you can see color in them to black. Like it didn't look like the same person coming out of the bathroom. This was.
Thank you, Tony Untold, for the $9.28. MJ, you know, Wilson is really low, and Wilson, makes the character Anton seem like a likable person. No Country for Old Men. I've never seen No Country for Old Men, and I know. Please don't take back your super chat, okay? I know it. I know it's won awards. I know it's a great movie, but I also heard it's very long and drawn out. So when it first came out, I never got around to watching it. Now I just feel like too much time has passed. Unless you really think I should. If you tell me it's worth it, I'll do it. But I'm just so excited for the new season of Black Mirror in a couple of weeks. Hi, Coffee and Skeletons. While I pack up some boxes, boy, that closing argument from trial. Yes, it was so intense. It was so intense. I don't hate you, Skylab. I see you. Hi, I'm sorry. I'm making brownies. You go, girl. You haven't either? Yeah, see? Okay, I'm not the only one. It is, Justin. I gotta check it out. It's so good, Nikki. It's available somewhere. I've been rewatching Homeland. I really like Homeland. And Severance. Now that it's done, season 2 is done. I'm really upset. But hi, Callie. From Cuba. Oh, you go, girl. Enjoy, please. It is Michelle? Okay. Me neither, Bogart.
Different. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was different.
Okay, Skylab, I will.
It was him, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So going back and so now you guys are there after Steve testifies. Now Steve came back and sat down with you and to finish out the day.
We went outside. They had gone on a recess. We went outside, and he was kind of back and forth at first, and he was like, "No, I think I want to stay." So we stayed, and that is when they went into playing the interrogation video or the audio from the jail, the interrogation audio when he was talking to the detectives, which was after Steve had visited him, when everybody has seen that video now.
Lady
and then he said, okay, I want to talk to the detectives.
I love your new photo. I love it. You look beautiful.
So they played that interrogation audio in the court that day. And there were things that, you know, I know everybody's heard it now, so I'm not saying anything anybody doesn't know, but, you know, there were things he had said on that interrogation that Steve and I had never heard. We didn't know. We were shocked, you know.
This is Mel's speaking right now. So, bio dad's wife, okay, Mel.
You know, there were things he had said on that interrogation that Steve and I had never heard. We didn't know. We were shocked, you know, just hearing how it was that same voice of excitement and braggadocious that he was on the phone with Steve the night in 2019. And it was just eerie listening to him. And it was very echoey, so it was very hard to hear. But the jury had a transcript, which another brilliant move by the prosecution to print all of that out in a transcript. So they were able to follow it line by line. But I remember after that, I think they put on, they did another recess, I think, after that. And I remember seeing this girl walking down the aisle who had been sitting behind Wade, and I was like, oh, she's upset. You know, like you could tell she was not as, and I had been watching her because I was like, wow, who is this person who's like sitting right behind him? Like, is this a girlfriend? Or, you know, we had known from Candy that he had a fiance, or, you know, but we didn't know who it was. And so I wasn't going to just like walk up and like, hey,
I think so, T-Vi.
you know this person, you know, like, I know you don't know me, and which you probably do know of me, you know, but we weren't sure, you know, so I didn't say anything. I just kind of, it imprinted in me, because I was like, wow, she's visibly upset, you know, and you can tell she's visibly upset. I just didn't know who she was at that point.
Yo, are those his lips? No way. No, that's got to be his tongue, right? Yo, I can't tell if that's his tongue, because that also looks like a perfect upper lip. What is happening? Please help me decide, is that an upper lip or is that a tongue? Because since when does he have lipstick on again? It looks like it. It's glossy. Is it sucking on that lip? It's the Kylie lip challenge. Yo, does he all of a sudden have the most beautiful pink lips? We have, listen, we have been going through all of these photos, and we know at moments he has a line. There's no lip, okay? And he has a lipple, and all of a sudden I come to this photo, and he has gorgeous Kylie Jenner lips. What is this? Yeah, it's even sparkling. He's got better lips than I do right now, okay? What is that? How is that? How is this possible? That tablet got filters now, man. Yo, I do not think that's his tongue. It is so perfect. Oh, wow. He's putting the Skittles to work. I'm so confused right now. Even the color, it's luscious, it's pink, it's a colored eyewear. It's a great gloss. It's what color is that? I need it for me. Okay. What is that? Looking like Buffalo Bill lambs. Yo, for real, like, I don't know what's happening here. That's Revlon in the shade of Gut Instinct. I swear to God, I have it in my vanity right now. But his lips are never full like that. They never look great like that. Oh my God, Gut Instinct by Revlon. Dude, that is so funny. I'm just confused. I'm very confused right now how that's possible. Oh my God. Oh my God. What is. Wait. Why does he look like this? Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. How? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. It would sucking on things would for sure cause swelling, slicks, but swelling and beauty, swelling and lusciousness, swelling and gloss. Hi, Jessica. Like this is, I would expect like more purple, like popped blood vessel type of, gloss. But no, like this is chef's kiss, beautiful. I'm so confused. I swear there's a little bit of lip liner in there and everything.
The stuff with Christine, I mean, all of it was very emotional and sickening. But the first
it's
time
gone.
that I got like emotionally and physically sick, I left the courtroom and I went to the bathroom. I was like throwing up. I was bawling my eyes out. I was trying so hard not to start bawling in the courtroom, so I like went out. But Mila had walked into the bathroom as I was like crying. I was just like, I'm sorry, like, and I didn't know who she was. Like, I didn't know it was her at the time because I couldn't put it in my mind. And then so I gathered myself and I went back in, but that was the first time that it had happened, and it was because I kept hearing his story in my head and playing everything that I know about everything in my head, but yet blood doesn't lie, and no matter how much I wanted to believe him, like I still was like, oh my gosh. And then I remember he had said, thank you for coming that night. And I was just very short with them. I wasn't answering the phone. I was just being kind of like, and that's where I kind of started like, okay, something's not making sense. And I literally even asked my roommate at the time and my school, like I went immediately to school afterwards, freaking out because of what I had just sat through the first day. And that wasn't even like, that was just the beginning. Like I went there every day after trial to school, literally to my teacher that I love, and bawled my eyes out because I didn't know what to do. And I literally just
Alexis is still around.
And that's a lot to sit through. A lot of people.
See,
like
these aren't the same lips.
For respectful purposes, we're not going to put out the actual gruesome details of the ins and outs of what happened. But there was enough evidence that.
Not only are these not luscious, not only are these not plump, not only are these not gut instinct in pink, he's got even scabies, like little scabby little. Ugh. So what the hell happened in that last one? That's what I want to know. I want to know what the hell happened. These are not those lips. It's like his teeth. It's so, it jumps around. And I even got a comment about that from, I guess, someone who came from the articles. And they were like, you're telling me he fluctuated in the weight and the hair and all of this within these few months? Yeah. I'm not like it's right there. It shows you the dates. I'm not lying about the dates. And he really does fluctuate on a day-to-day basis. Like I don't know. I'm more blown away than you are.
You heard that there was without a doubt from both of you guys that, hey, this man did these things and wow, are they terrible.
Yeah.
So both of you guys were mind blown by what you heard. Like, man, I knew he was sick by his his confessions and stuff, but this is crazy. I'm sure even you.
I never even knew the confession before that. Like, I literally was believing that all he had was, hey, I said I did it. They couldn't convict. Like, that's what I thought. I never heard anything until I got into this courtroom.
So then you were even mind blown when you heard the cops interrogation portion. When he was actually, yes. Oh, I'm sure that must have been like eye-opening. Like, what?
It was because the bragging thing was a thing. Like, it was.
Hi, Two-Dog Mom.
It was a show. He was the master, and it was his. Like, that's all he was concerned about. Like, on there was like, especially is getting a cheeseburger, and I'll tell you, like, there's no. it freaked me out. It did.
Now going into a little bit more depth, because we've talked about Christine portion and rest in peace to her beautiful soul. I want to talk about Diane, because there was a lot of people with their conspiracies and loopholes, but the fact of the matter was that stuff was not shared in court, and obviously they're not gonna. He exaggerated over parts that happened.
Yes,
Even Mel, you had stated that what he was telling his dad and what you heard there was things that were like, hey, we didn't hear that before. So there was definitely a lot of
Missy.
crazy, which was not be like
it always is
abnormal, because he was under the influence of something. So there was a definite reason for him to misconstrue. But either way, he was bragging about something that wasn't exactly right, which left us with loopholes, with people believing that somebody else could have been involved, and there's more to the story. But in all reality, they left out a lot of those things. We already looked at those areas of backtrack areas where people can go, young kids, people driving. There's reasons why there could be different kinds of tire tracks back there. These are areas that a lot of people would hang.
Yeah, the area that specifically, the two areas were obviously very different ends of town. Christine's happened more on, I believe it was South Cape, around Cape Parkway area. That's where that one was. And this one's all the way at North Cape. So they're two totally different. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but like South Cape and North Cape are two totally different. Like, oh, you're from South Cape, you're from North, because it's a thing. But out there's more houses that have fields everywhere. Like that's where all the kids go car hopping. They'd be breaking into houses. It's very known out there for things, because that's where people get their vacation homes too. It's cheaper out there. They can build them there. They leave, that's obviously he went into something that wasn't there. But it's not uncommon for somebody to break in or things like that to happen with teenagers. That it's not. So when there was other tire tracks.
Oh, he's taking a poo.
You know how many of those cars are here in the county? I can't even tell you how many. And teenagers go out there all the time, showing off for their girlfriends, running around like this. It's just what they do. It's they're fields.
So going into that portion of it, when you got to hear what more that we didn't get to see, there was enough DNA and evidence that was presented that we didn't see televised that tied weight to Diane, correct?
Oh, I'm sorry, trigger warning, I'm going in. There is something. There's something. What is it? Oh my God, it's like a potato that is gone. Oh, he's sprouting. Yo, what is that? Because you could even you could even see like whiteness around his tongue, as if like something is poking into it. You know what I mean? A cold sore? It is protruding out of his tongue. What do you mean? I've never a cold. Okay, you know what? I don't want to fucking know. I don't want to know. He is sprouting like a potato. That is, for real, the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Yo. Do you see how it's like his tongue right there? It's a little bit whiter, like something is poking into it and the blood disperses. And you guys want to kiss that? He is, Joe. That's literally, you know how like a potato, if you leave it too long, it starts to get those, whatever they're called. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know that I heard a little bit more. I didn't hear.
Look at his little
I didn't
ass ears.
Steve about the the DNA on the dashboard.
Eyes.
And stuff
Yes,
like
he has
that.
an eye on his tongue.
A lot of people were saying because they didn't do the bottom of the car, which everybody was conflicted in, because he had said that he ran her over until she both looked like spaghetti, which was not the truth. And the reason why they didn't do the DNA on the bottom of the car was because not only was her DNA found all inside the car along with her cell phone, but we didn't run her over until she looked like spaghetti. It was like it might have been like a reverse and a drive over. It was enough to rupture things in her body, crack her ribs. Like it was not pretty, but she was in like you could identify her. Yeah. She was
I know,
not,
I know.
it was not like that at all. That's why I think I got so upset when the one girl kept, referring to her best friend's death as that, and that's not the case at all, like at all. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you suggested that because there definitely wasn't. I think that people, they didn't get to see that portion. I know Steve had
He
talked
must
before on the
smell
platform
so
that
bad.
there was tire tracks on her clothing.
Yeah. I mean, there was imprint, because,
Yeah.
after they found her, she had already obviously been in rigor mortis and, things that, the whole process was starting. But the imprint from the heavy weight of the vehicle, yes, like that was. But it was not where you see in a movie and it's like it was like an episode of Stranger Things when one of the things dies and it's just like a big nasty mess. Like that's not, she was ideable. You were able to verify.
I'm sorry she was ideable. Alexis, I'm sorry. Who the F do you think you are? She was ideable, first of all. Second off, don't minimize what the hell he's done. They referenced what he said, ma'am. What he said. They didn't say the injuries necessarily depicted this. They are aware what happened because they are far smarter than us and they know what they're doing. The body tells the story during an autopsy. But they used his own words. Do you get that? His words. He said that. He claimed he did that. Let that sink in. Why would you even claim you did it something worse than you did? That's how sick he is. Oh, not another lip. Yep. Oh, I hear Jesse in my head right now. Okay, you guys. So we actually have all of his medical records, but we obviously can't show that because of HIPAA. Okay. Even though it doesn't violate HIPAA, that clearly I don't know what the HIPAA laws are, but he actually does not have any STDs. He's been given panels and he's been tested every year that he has been incarcerated, and he is fully clean. But you know who does have STDs? The same people who are accusing him of having STDs. So yeah, let's just debunk that right now. And then what's this? Why is he sprouting from his tongue? What's on his fucking lip? Okay. If that ain't a D of the ST, I don't know what that is. You would think that a dental office manager should know about HIPAA, but you know what, to be fair, Kirsten, most people don't realize what HIPAA is. People think that, hey, if you, Kirsten, gave me your medical records and you trusted me with them, if I showed them on my live stream right now, that I'd be breaking HIPAA. Now, no, that's not how it works. But, you know.
You could. And there was marks on her. And
They were able to know that
it was her.
Had he run over her? Yes.
Yes.
Did he do what he said he did? No, not to that extreme.
Yeah. He did run her over, but it was not enough to cause spaghetti, quote unquote, but it was enough to leave imprintations and proof that he did run her over.
Right.
But it was not like how he had said. I believe that was an added, exaggerated part to it to make him seem more believable, maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
but
lovely.
That was not the case at all.
Lovely.
Well, there were a couple of things that he downright lied about.
And for specific people, you know what I mean? Like, if you make that choice of sharing your medical information, me sharing it, now I'm not saying that there isn't anything you could do. I don't know about that, but specifically for HIPAA, that's not me breaking HIPAA. That's not how it works. It's specifically for specific people, and for specific things. But okay.
You know, he had said that he had intercourse with her. There was
Yeah.
absolutely no DNA proof of that.
There wasn't enough
That's what I
time.
thought was weird too. Like, why are you mentioning that you did something? And it wasn't even normal intercourse either, and he's still talking about like no, that didn't happen, bro. It didn't even. The DNA never even said that.
It did not. They didn't. No, yeah, no, not at all. You had said that, like when he said that wasn't true. He did not have intercourse with her.
Oh,
All right, so after that portion of it, now everything was laid out there. So you automatically, at this point, you see enough DNA that was tied to both of those girls and tying in to both of those girls.
Pause real quick. I'm so sorry. My hiccups came back. So I just want to let you guys know. Sorry for the hiccups. And DB Bentley, I just got that. That was so kind. I'm probably going to gift out Lisa's, and then I will gift out yours the next, because I just want to make sure that, because given that it's a members only, not everyone can opt in. You know what I mean? But DB Bentley bought Patreon memberships. That's so kind, so generous. And so we have a lot of Patreon memberships to gift away. But I know that it's not, I don't think it's fair when it's on a members only stream, because people can't opt in the chat to get it. But we'll gift a couple out, and then we'll gift all of them out when it's opened up to the chat. Thank you so much.
And so you got to see all the ins and outs of there. After that, you at the end of that, of listening to both of those females, at that point you were like, okay, this guy is not.
I don't know,
right.
Katrina.
Like, did you already have that moment, or?
I had a one where I was upset, and I just know that he had said, no matter what you hear.
Thank you, DB Bentley. Thank you so much.
It's not true. I was set up, like he has said that to me before. So like, that's what I was trying to do. But, I just kept playing what I seen over and over again in my head and trying to break it down as good as I can. And even when in my mind, I was like, but this makes so much sense, but it couldn't, because this is this, and this is truth. And this is just what, like, this is real. This is Disney World. Do you know what I mean? And then not only was I only coming back to continue to learn and figure out what happened, this entire time in between, he is telling me that there's a woman that can prove his innocence. Her name is Lexus, that is in jail, and that the lawyers need to go see her immediately, because she can prove that all of this is a setup. So no matter how bad my heart is wanting to believe him, I'm still in the back of my mind playing everything that I went, like everything, because this is just a lot of work for.
Sorry, real quickly. So I'm going to start with some of Lisa's. So I have it scrolling at the bottom. If you aren't already an active paying member of Patreon, because listen, if you're already a paying member, if you try to opt in and get a free one and cancel, it's not going to work. Okay. So if you aren't already on a paid Patreon tier and you haven't been gifted already, you could type Lisa in the chat, okay? Because these are the ones that Lisa gifted. And so the thanks goes to her. So, okay, if you aren't already a paid Patreon member and you haven't been previously gifted.
Them to put this guy away for no reason. Like, it was just, the logic was outweighing the non-logic. It just, as bad as I didn't want it to. And that's why I had stayed in contact with him for the next week and a half till the penalty phase.
Now, Mel, when you were in court, and you guys said after Steve went on there, and you're sitting there, was that during the part of like Diane that you saw her put her hands into her head, and like you kind of were like, oh God, I could tell that she felt it? No, okay,
that wasn't until the penalty phase when Zane was on the stand.
When Zane took the
stand. That was the end of, that was the complete kabang with that one.
I was sitting like directly catty corner from Allie, and like in the back, we were literally, I could see her,
Harper's Nana, you're the first winner. Congratulations, Harper's Nana. Email me for Baby Mom and I'll help you figure it out. Hey, so there's that. What is it called? Hey, only if you haven't been gifted previously, because I do see some names. I do keep track of it, so please try not to opt in. Once I get around to where pretty much everyone has had a chance to get in, if you've been previously gifted, you could get another one. But for now, I want to try to get people who haven't had a chance. So please don't opt in. I already know if you have. So please don't try to do that. Thank you.
And I just remember keep glancing over, and I just, she put her hand in her head and just, and started crying. I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in the courtroom when Zane was on the stand. I don't think that's the one where Steve had to get up and walk out. He couldn't even handle listening because it just broke his heart. But I knew at that moment, I was like, whoever this girl is, this is the moment where she's done. She's figured it out, and she's done. And, later I had said to Steve, I'm like, I want to go talk to her. Like, I think that's, his fiance. And he was like, okay. And if it is, she is not going to talk to you.
So there's that. You're the second winner. Congratulations. Email me. I'll shoot you the membership. Anyone who's a winner, the next 3 that I'm going to announce, because Lisa had bought 5. 1, please thank Lisa. But 2, you just email me. That's it. You just send me an email.
And I said, but, I don't want to harass her. Like, I just want to ask her.
Whoa.
How did you get to this place? How did you get here? And that's what when Allie and I did finally connect and we talked, and that's what I wasn't abrasive, or I honestly am the kind of person, I'm like, I want to learn about people. I want to understand, just like, most of us do. And I could just tell that day, like, I watched her for, a few days and was like, she got it. She figured it out. And what led up to this? That's what I was interested in. I wasn't interested in dogging her out or, condemning her at all. I just wanted to understand the story. That's all.
And now when you talk about the penalty phase, that was after the fact, right? The June 24th and June 25th. So the trial dates June 10th, 11th, and 12th, and then the penalty phase was the following week.
Like, it was a week and a half that next Tuesday, I believe.
Okay, and our next 3 winners are Gen X, Gen 8, Nina, and Abby Lane. So congratulations. We have Harper's Nana. So there's that. Gen X, Gen 8, Nina, and Abby Lane. Those are our 5 winners from Lisa. Again, please thank Lisa. And then we will gift out DB Bentley's at the next one once non-members can chat. So congratulations. Shoot me an email and I will forward you that gift link courtesy of Lisa. This is October 22nd, 2023. Thin, right, poor Linda? Thin. Yay.
All right, so yeah, not a dry eye in the house when Zane went up there with a brave kid to go up there.
We're almost done with this batch. We're going to finish it out.
I also wanted to touch on this subject because during these times that you were at court, I know that I've personally talked to Brandon and wanted to give him a shout out. Thank you. I've reached out to him personally to get his blessing to be able to do this interview today.
Yay, Gen X.
And the kid is beautifully raised.
He does look skinny there, so there's that.
Raised 2 beautiful humans, caring, compassionate, and I wanted to touch on that, Allie, because you were getting some heat from the family that.
And you weren't. I don't think you were here when I started, so there's that. But by the way, I said thank you. I saw that the tags and stuff, and thank you for the kind words and support.
Was there, and granted, it was understandable,
Right, Pink
but
Puma?
however, even in your kindness and trying to be kind to others, and you were getting heat and getting some nasty comments, Brandon was the only one to be kind to you, and that was he saw you sitting behind his mother.
Yeah.
Or sitting behind the guy that killed his mother, and he's sitting there like granting you grace. And
I honestly expected the negative to be from him and his brother over the other mentally in the beginning, like I thought that, oh my gosh, like when I
Okay,
first had seen
Little Red.
the boys come in, I was like, oh my gosh, like he's gonna be so upset with me, you know, like that's what I was worried about. I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna be,
that should be it.
they're not gonna like
Thank
me,
you,
they're
Little
gonna be mean
Red.
to me. And I
Thank
went
you.
out after hearing stuff with Christine, and I had, you know, I went up to, it was her best friend and some of her family, and I was like, I am so sorry for what you and your family have gone through and what you're going through, sitting here through this again. Like I'm deeply sorry. I needed to hear for myself. And they were just like, oh, thank you. And then like every day it was, why is she still here? And like just nasty, mean stuff. But
I told you guys, like, don't be discouraged if you haven't got one yet. Everyone will eventually get one. We have such a generous community, but I'm so happy.
Brandon never once, even Zane, didn't even look at me with like disgust, and they were sitting right across from where I was at. Like I was in eye view of,
Do they, KB?
of everybody, and he did not even give me a dirty look. Like there was no looks of disgust. And when we were going, I believe it was for the lunch recess, and I was walking, and they were coming up, and I turned around.
Look at
we
his.
were waiting in line to get like into there, and I was like, you know, I'm so sorry for what you're like. I'm sorry this happened to you.
They seem like really good boys.
He was like, you know, you didn't do this. You know, it's not your fault. You know,
and bad stuff,
like,
Carolyn.
The truth, like I'm not
to be
here
fair.
supporting him, because at that point, I kind of was making my decision, and you know, and I just said thank you, and he, you know, he smiled at me a couple times when he had seen me, but he was one of the only ones that showed me kindness, and I didn't feel like he needed to, and I was very grateful for that. So thank you, Brandon.
Yes, thank you, everyone who gifted.
When he was telling me that portion of it, and he remembered you vividly, and he was just like, nobody deserves that. And I'm just like, what a great human. Like, your mom, I just want to squeeze her, because obviously she's a reflection of her children and how beautiful a soul is. That is something that is not, like, you don't just go and are born that way. Somebody taught you to be that way.
That's exactly what.
Okay, and then I'm going to gift out a Patreon, and so my Patreon winner is Cicely. So congratulations, Cicely. Email me, hun. And welcome, Knuckle Sandwich. Thank you for becoming a member. Yay, Gen X. Congrats.
I am glad we did this, because so many people
did.
Know that.
Lots of winners today.
Don't know how that went.
And we got so many more because of DB Bentley.
This needed to be done, and why, you know, we cared so much about opinions, because, you know, I mean, not for anything, but I genuinely cared about how they would have to see or feel anything. And it's already bad enough that it's ripped open and closed all the time.
Me too, MK.
You know,
Such a generous community. You guys are the best.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, they definitely granted it. I even asked him today.
I adore you,
definitely
Cicely.
Went back and said,
Congrats.
hey, we're going to be talking about this, and this is what we're gonna cover. Are you okay with that? He's like, yep, go. You do what you gotta do. He wants that out there too, because he knows that we're not gonna do anything hurtful. We're keeping them in mind, but it's also something that I wanted people to see, that you guys were physically there. You got to hear the nasty details that a lot of us were lacking, and we can only kind of piece things together by what we're reading, but it's not the same. And you're not seeing those brutal photographs, and you guys had to sit there and go through all that. And this is also 2 human lives, and 2 people were lost. And to hear, like, even to hear about the story in general was disgusting, but the full depths of it is even more like, hey, justice for those 2 beautiful souls, because nobody deserves to go out the way that they did. And I applaud you guys both for coming up on here. Allie, when we go back to that, so now going...
Justin, if you want to buy a Patreon, you click that link right there, that Nightbot, and then they'll send you a link, and you forward me that link. That's how it works. They give you a link, and then you got to give it to me so I could give it to the winners. Natasha, you're fine. Please, you're doing enough. Thank you.
After this portion, and you kind of like already started stepping down of like mentally, did you, after you guys left, after Zane's testimony, did you continue to talk to Wade after that?
After Zane's testimony, I think I had a couple of conversations with him over messages. That's like the ones I had posted. And I'm going to send them to you so you know, but I have them.
Well, she didn't go back the next day. So
Yeah, I wasn't there for after that.
Ugh.
I just go to the second day.
Right.
I was there the
you
first
were there,
but
I said to Steve, I was like, good for her. She's not here. And I'm like, I told you that was her. I knew it. That's what I knew.
Because Solo Angel, they made it now. I don't know. No, it was YouTube. So there's that. It was YouTube. Solo Angel. So now, just so you, and Tiffany, just so you guys know, now they made it to where when you opt in for gifting for memberships, you're opted in across the platform. Like, it's not just, hey, you're opted in for my channel. Once you're opted in, you're opted in. And all that means is, hey, well, how did I get gifted for a channel like I really don't go to? Once basically all the frequent, because the more frequent you are to the chat, the more likely you are to get gifted to that channel. But some channels get like a crap ton of gifts. And so once it basically cycles through everyone who's actively there, it kind of just goes to people who may not actively participate. If you've never frequented it, I'm sure it's something to do with like the algorithm. You may have frequented channels that mutual members frequent together, if that makes sense. But you're opted in across the platform.
For sure that Allie was Allie, because I was like, she didn't come back. So,
and it was
we want to clear out because everybody keeps saying that she was there the whole time. That last day, Mel was there, didn't see her. She's saying I wasn't there. She wasn't there for that day.
no,
Right here,
she was
Cicely.
not.
and I was not there for the sentencing in August either.
Right.
That
Yep.
was
After
not-
that
You
point,
could opt
had
right back
not
in,
talked to her.
T-Vi.
So, you kind of like after that, you had a couple conversations. He kind of, we already saw some
Oh,
messages
look at
where
his
he
little
blew you up, right? He called you multiple
Look at his little spectacles. Look at his little dollar. Look at him. Aw.
times. But
He did.
your last correspondence was, when did you say? Sometime in July, right?
Yeah, we spoke in July about the suits and stuff. But it was.
Thank you,
I believe
Justin.
It was on the 30th.
You did.
was
You
when
did it
was the official
perfectly.
Done because I literally got the phone call from
Thank you.
from Lee.
I'm going to
I know,
save
'cause I
this
called
for...
him, I'm like, hey, did you?
Justin, I'm going to save yours just like I'm saving DB Bentley's, because again, it's members only Monday. So there's a bunch of people watching who aren't members that would love to opt in and can't. So I'm just going to save these and roll these over since we gifted a lot for this live. Thank you so much. But I will give credit to both of you guys when I do gift those out, which I'm sure you'll be here, but I'm just saying.
Did you get? Because I still haven't heard back about the girl in jail, right? Like I'm literally still think it's the 24th, 25th. I didn't show up because I didn't know what to do. I'm still being told continuously through the next couple of days that this girl can prove it. And then now I finally got word that the lawyer.
Thank you, Justin. That's very kind.
So then when I got off the phone,
I know you'll be here, Justin.
Stated, and this was on the, I believe it was the 30th. We were going back and forth, and he had said, once now that you're choosing to be done with the relationship, I did this over message. It wasn't over the phone. So yeah.
So then after that, you kind of slowly started stepping back from that, and you're like, okay,
When you had told me that it was a dead
You know
end,
what he's
and
doing
the
with
things
that.
Wade was claiming she would be able to show.
Yay, Carolyn Cooper.
It wasn't even
Hey, Art
even in the
Deco.
same category as Wade was playing it off of. He was trying to get her to lie, is what it was. And she refused to testify. So that's
So
why
you were like, okay, wipe my hands at this, but hey, wait a second here. Let me contact you back because I want those suits. I'm trying to get my money back for
Well,
that.
I did because I had left it at that. And
Yes, we had the other night, Little Red. Remember, we had everyone type your name to opt in. What is it called? And I could tell you who your winners were if you don't remember because I have it all in the email. But what is it called? This is the last page. It's the last page of the third batch, guys. One more batch to go. But what's up there with his bottom row? Yeah, please hit that thumbs up if you already have not. Thank you all. Natasha, thank you. Natasha got memberships too. We got so many Patreons to give away. We're so excited. Yay, thank you. What's going on with the head with these women? Besides, you know what? Nanya was just telling me earlier, and I asked for, she may have sent it to me, but I didn't get a chance to go see it to pull it up. And she was telling me about how there was like a similar situation where this woman met a man on death row, kind of similar to like these women with Wade. And she went for a conjugal visit and he took her life. And I'm like, please send me that link, which again, she probably already did. But that is what the Wade wives need to see. You think, what do you think is going to happen? And I'm not saying necessarily he would take your life during a conjugal visit if you had that opportunity, versus like the point is, this is a killer. Okay, hold on, wait a second. Hold on, I'm sorry. He's a bit droopy on that right side there. He's looking like a... Which, by the way, please don't leave me comments. And it's not you guys. I know that it's the people who aren't sitting here watching, but like telling me I'm a bully because of attacking Wade's looks. Listen. I don't attack just people's looks. It's not something I do. I can attack so much more. Like, I'm not going to go for looks. That's too easy. But with that being said, the same thing I said really for Ari, which we never really attacked Ari's looks. We just pasted her in funny scenarios. But when you are a double murderer who eats shit, and I find you picking your nose, I'm gonna laugh at you. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So enough with the, yeah, you're fair game, C. Carter, at that point. Don't be a murderer. And I've made fun of Tisha's looks. I have no problem when you are a horrific murderer who eats feces. You're fair game, especially when you're picking your nose. It's just the way it is. But if you act like, oh, well, I'm just taking another creator or a subscriber, I'm just attacking their looks. I don't do that crap. Have you? That's right. So there's that. I had the woman who found me from the articles, and the language barrier confused me at first, but I figured out what she was saying. So basically she emailed me and it's like, you're the one with the photos of Wade? Well, first she asked me, is Wade alive? Is he alive? I'm like, yeah, he's alive. And she's basically like, so you're the one with the photos of Wade Wilson? I'm like, yeah. You know, what do you want? She's like, oh, okay. Well, fuck you. Wait, you're telling me you read this article, probably clicked my channel, got to YouTube, looked in my description, found my email, reached out in an email, and probably translated from her language to English. And it's like, hey, you this girl? You know? Yeah, I'm that girl. Ah, good. Fuck you. Honestly, I admire the effort. I mean, you know, she put the work in, but it was like, wow, like you why are you so angry? Like, I don't understand what you're so angry about. If you guys are all like, oh, he's still hot, okay, then what are you angry about? There you go. You should be thankful. I don't get it. No, they leave. So there's that. There are so many comments. Oh, is this it? Yep, that's it. That's the end of the batch. There are so many comments that I get that. I sometimes Google will give the option to translate to English. Yeah, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, I'm out. I know. But I get so many comments, and sometimes you'll see the option translate to English, but a lot of them recently haven't had that option. So I'm like, but what does it say? You know, even if it's cursing me, I need to know what it says. It's I don't think so, Harley. I don't think so. She definitely didn't think I was Team Wade. He does look like a big fart. Oh man. Okay. I guess I'll stop it there. The next batch is the fourth and final batch. The fourth and final batch are all 2024. But wait, I need to show you guys something. When I was searching for a specific photo in an old batch, do you guys remember this photo? Tess, do you remember this photo? I don't. Where did this come from? Do you remember this? Because when I was searching, I'm like, what the hell is this? Who is that? Who dat? And why are you taking photos together through your door? You don't remember it, C. Carter, right? Because I'm like, wait a second. And the second half of, I think it was like the first batch, there were a lot of photos that I'm like, I don't remember seeing all these. I think we may have been at the bottom of the first batch. I don't know. I don't remember this one. Maybe I'm mistaken, but because it's been a lot of photos, we've been going through thousands, but I'm just curious, like, why is that another inmate? I think it's another inmate. I don't know. That's not Maniac. Come on. I already have in my head who Maniac is, and that's not Maniac. Oh, do you guys want to see Todd? Shout out to Gidget. Oh my God, stop it. This is not Todd. Oh my God. Wait. And I'm so sorry for wheezing in your guys' ears. No way is this Todd. Oh, it is Todd. Oh. Oh. Hold on. Oh, what in the Elton John? Okay. Okay. All right. This is Todd. This is Todd. Why is he? Listen, if you guys remember the emails, the Todd emails, they were always read in Eeyore. Okay. Very depressed. Like, mom said this, you know, like, and I went for a walk and I pondered on my thoughts, and in my thoughts, I went back to my childhood and I regressed to my 6-year-old self. And I realized the root of my trauma. That was Todd. Apparently, this is Todd, which I can't confirm, but this other screenshot sent with it appears to be yes. But what in the Elton John is going on here? Nina. What in the Elton John? This looks like the happiest man alive. How are his emails so depressing? She is fierce. Listen, I no hate, okay? He looks like he's living his best life, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But this is not the energy I expected from his emails. Todd. Hi guys. Hi Wade. You know, like I talked to my mom today, you know, like we had to move her from the nursing home. It is a sequin shirt. It is. I know for a fact if I took my fingertips and I grazed that shirt, it would be raised. You know, like those old bags that we used to have, like we used and they'd have those sequins. Okay? You know, he's ready to party. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Like he is ready. Work, cover girl, do your thing. This is just wait a fucking minute. This is not the same guy in that photo you just showed. No, no, Natasha. Hold on, sorry. Let me clarify. This is not the guy peeping in the cell in the photo previous. No. This is Todd from the emails, totally unrelated to that guy in that window. Is that a feather boa? It is. It is. And it goes down. Okay. Oh, oh my. I'm not hating. I swear. Like he looks fabulous. He's giving main character energy, okay? I'm not hating on it. It's just not what I expected. It's not what I expected. I wish I could be that happy. He looks so happy. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like what he's done, but he's giving main character energy and I can't hate that for him. Good for you. But oh man. I miss smoking bread. Jeez. Yeah, I didn't expect that. Look at that hat, the glasses, the smile, normal size ears. We got a feather. Oh my, sequins. What is this? I don't even know. It looks too expensive for me. Like he is here for it. Like he is here. Oh my gosh. Snap in a Z formation. He looks like he's about to do a Legally Blonde bend and snap, This is Todd from the emails. Todd. Very depressed, Eeyore, long, very uninteresting emails, Todd, that Jesse also did imitate or steal his identity. I don't know what you would consider it. I know, I wish I had half his comments. I was going to say, I haven't had a smile on my face like that since I saw Bubbles for the first time at 2 years old. Like he is sparkling. He's got the pose and everything. So it's not even like he's wearing a confident outfit and not having a confident stance. Like he has a confident outfit with a confident stance. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like you could feel his energy. Jazz hands. He's happy. Yeah. He is not the depressed type anymore. Listen, I love that. I love when I see anybody like genuinely smiling, and you could tell he's just genuinely happy to be here. Bless his little heart. But okay, we're going to end with Todd. Congratulations to all of our winners. Thank you again for every single person who gifted Patreon memberships. We will definitely be gifting all of them out, and all of the credit will go to you specifically when I gift those. So thank you. We will be on tomorrow to do Casey Anthony opening statements, trial recap. Very, very excited for that. We have so many Idaho documents. We will be doing that also. And then we will be starting the 4th batch for 2024 photo drop of Wade Wilson. And yeah, I cannot imagine what's going to be in this batch. So thank you, Lucid Dreams, for 2 months. Thank you for all you do and all the laughs. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for hanging out. Please hit that thumbs up if you already haven't. If you have been watching and not able to comment because you're not a member, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everyone. And I hope you all have an amazing night, and I will see you guys tomorrow.